Oh shit. I forgot to open Steam. That's why I'm invisible. Okay, I'm doing that now. It's gonna take a few minutes. You'll get that on these big jobs? Remember this pop-up puzzle? No. Look, VTube Studio is starting right now. Gotta open my iPhone as well. Okay, now it's doing this. Okay. Oh my god. What setup were you doing? Okay. No. I'll explain, okay? So how far to the side should I move myself? I feel like this should be good. Yeah, that seems good. So okay, first things first. Hello everyone. I'm Tia Faire, idol philosopher, and Justice Incarnate. Welcome to today's chatting stream. Sorry I'm late. I was doing a bit of setup. Wait, first I should explain the topic of the stream. So basically, if you saw the title and thumbnail, today I was hoping to review my genmates thumbnails. My genmates being Karis Euphranor and Axion. All three of us are members of the new indie VTuber group Vlosophy. Now that we're sort of in it together, a win for one of us and is a win for all of us. So wait, no. This is all out of order. So I mean, okay. Wait, actually, I just noticed one other weird thing. Okay, just pretend you didn't see that. Okay, so okay, actually I don't, maybe I just say hi to everyone first, okay? Hi Tara, I hear you got your internet back, nice to see you again after a while. Hi Robo, hi Penboo, hi Leon. So, what should, okay. Today, okay, I want to do my graphic design tutorial stream today. My first art tutorial stream on this channel. I've thought about doing other tutorials. The time and the never had the time or the occasion to do it. Graphic design. The reason I want to do one now is because I have genmates now. I recently announced that I am part of an indie VTuber group called Vlosophy, and so my genmates Karis and Axion have less of an artistic background, like less of a background in art and design than I do. So I thought that I'd maybe take this chance to give them some pointers as to how they could improve their thumbnails. Because thumbnails on YouTube are very, very important. Like, you know, I would say when it comes to the discoverability of your content, like the thumbnails are the single most important factor if you had to name just one. Like more important than you know, titles or anything else. And I guess as proof of this, I've noticed a correlation between thumbnails and like view count on all three of our channels, on mine and theirs. Not like a direct one-to-one correlation, but there is at least like a partial, like I think there is actually like a pretty strong correlation. Like if you go on my channels or Axion's channel and go like sort by popular, I think that our the streams with the best thumbnails show up first, and that doesn't strike me as a mere coincidence. So you know, given how important thumbnails are, and since we're all part of the same group now, you know, one person's success is everyone's success, and so that makes it really important for us to sort of you know, improve our game, because our efforts all reflect on each other from now on. And the setup I was doing was those of you who were here about a month ago for my return from vacation chatting stream, you may have noticed the little scuff I had involving the image slideshow on OBS, where because I didn't name the pictures were out of order because I didn't like name them. I didn't like change their names manually. So I realized I took the time to do that today, and that's why I'm 10 minutes late. Sorry about that. I am a little tired today. What else is new? I'm still kind of sick after a whole month, but I'm gonna do my best. Robo says, "Hi Tia, hope you're having a good day." Well, well, as I just said, I am tired, but it could be worse. So thanks. I hope you're having a good day too. How is everyone today? Now you have peons to mock. No, are you referring to my genmates? They're not my peons. They're my friends. But I'm not trying to mock them today. I'm just trying to give some constructive criticism. I'm gonna try not to be too unfair. We're gonna try to be objective, but like not unfair in my feedback. Now that you have what, 3 thumbnails in one video, is that a thing? Like I feel like I might know what you're referring to, but I'm not sure. Tara, the importance of catching attention. Yeah, pretty much, because humans are visual creatures, so I don't know, it just makes sense that thumbnails would affect the success of your videos more than anything else. With that said, before we get fully into it, I wanted to start by talking about the standards by which we will judge the thumbnails today. Oh, Penbu says thumbnail A/B testing is a feature. Yeah. Can you explain to me what A/B testing actually is? I never found that out. I've seen the term get thrown around. I'm honestly not exactly sure what it means. But yeah, so the standards by which we will judge today's thumbnail. So basically, I've prepared I've prepared a number of my my genmates thumbnails to review today. And we're gonna go through one by one and talk about, you know, what they did well, what they could have done better, and geez, Tia, that's a thing my company does a lot. Okay, well, why didn't you tell me? So we're going to try to sort of teach sort of the principles as to what goes into a good thumbnail using some of the ones my genmates made as examples. And before we get into that part, we're going to just take a moment to what's it called? Go over the elements and the principles of design that are relevant to thumbnail making. So before we get into the examples, we need I want to first establish like what are those sort of the qualities, like the characteristics that make a good thumbnail that, you know, everyone should be looking for, and we're going to try to have them in mind when we're going through each example one by one. Oh, hi Belladonna! A/B tests consist of a randomized experiment that usually involves 2 variants. That's maybe Penbu will explain it better. It's where YouTube serves one thumbnail to one set of users and another thumbnail to another set. With a large enough sample size, you can tell which one does better. Oh, but I guess that's only useful if you really do come up with multiple thumbnails ideas, because I usually have just the one. I usually settle on one and push that one out. Basically, you see which option works better, A or B. So like if one of your thumbnails was more risque, you could see if people liked it better. Yeah, I can see that being useful only if you have multiple ideas that you want to test out. I usually don't. Yeah. So, those, any of you here who have a background in art may recognize the elements of principles of elements and principles of design, or have heard of them before. There are quite a few elements and principles. We're not going to go through all of them today because not all of them are equally relevant to graphic design, particularly the graphic design of YouTube thumbnails. Today, I wanted to just focus on 4. So not too many. I think they should be pretty easy to remember. So I'll take a minute to explain each one, and I'll write them on the board behind me, the whiteboard. Let me just take a minute to glance at my notes quickly. So... Alright. So the first... the first principle I want to cover is... I'm going to call it spacing. That's too close to chat. Spacing. And... this one is probably pretty self-explanatory. Basically, the idea is that all the different elements on your thumbnail, like text and pictures, should be properly spaced apart so that nothing is too close together or too far apart, so that it looks sort of proportional, so that the composition is effective. You want to make effective space, effective use of the space that you have. So that means things shouldn't be spread too far apart or like bunched together in the center, because that doesn't really make sense. And then yeah, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, although I think you'll have a better idea of what I mean when we start getting into examples. And then the next one is... contrast. So, what that basically means is that different elements on your thumbnail should not blend together too much. They should make effective use of different colors and values, especially, or maybe and maybe also like things like textures, in order to stand out, so that the different elements are readable. This is for like readability and visibility, because thumbnails serve a practical purpose, and they're like, as most sort of examples of graphic design do. So they're not there only to look aesthetically pleasing. They serve the function of giving potential viewers information as to what your stream or video is about, which makes it crucial for the text and everything else to be well visible and readable. And we're going to see some examples of good and bad contrast later. For now, then number 3, I'm going to say hierarchy. Now I don't like the way my handwriting looks. What hierarchy means is that on a sort of any sort of piece of graphic design, there should be like a hierarchy assigned to the different elements on your space, your sort of design, according to their importance. That is to say, not all of the things should be assigned the same importance, and because then it will get overwhelming and confusing for the viewer. You want the viewer to be able to just focus on like one main thing, and with like other things being like secondary and like tertiary. And one of the main ways to accomplish hierarchy is through size. So you generally don't want like 3 things, for example, like 3 things that are the exact same size. Instead, you want like one like really big thing, like a biggest thing, and then that thing is the main focus of the composition, and then have the other things be progressively smaller. And then for the last one, I'm gonna say I don't like the way I wrote that. Flow. And what I mean by flow, I think flow is probably I feel like it might be the least sort of self-explanatory one here. But what I mean by that is that you know, when you have a design, a composition, the different parts of the composition should be arranged in a way that it lets the human eye naturally travel from one part of the composition to another. So it should sort of like guide the eye all around the entire composition in a way that is natural and pleasing. And it may not be immediately obvious as to how you can accomplish this. I think this is probably the one out of these 4 principles. This is probably the one that is the hardest to grasp, like the one that is like the least intuitive for people who don't have a lot of art experience. But hopefully in a bit I can demonstrate why what flow is and why it's important, and how to accomplish it. Robo says, I'm very interested in this topic, did some freelance editing and thumbnails were part of it, never went anywhere with it, but I'm pretty good at Premiere Pro. Oh, so like Adobe Premiere Pro? Is that? I've had that right, right? Well, that's really cool. And freelance editing and thumbnails were part of it. So yeah, sounds like you have a bit of experience with this. All right, I think I'm gonna, now that we've gone through all of these, I think I'm going to maybe just maybe like put this in the corner so that we don't like not on top of me. Is that, it's gonna be too small to read. I don't want it to be too big either. That might be too small. Let me know if that's too tiny. I'm just trying to make sure it's not gonna like go on top of my face. Would you say that pointing and arrows are a good way to guide flow? Yes. We're going to cover that in a in a bit. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. So having sort of settled on our first, move it on your arm like a tattoo. That's not a very good tattoo. not only do I don't have any tattoos. I'm not like enthusiastic about the idea of getting any personally, but if I were to get one, it wouldn't be this. Might as well be something cooler than this. Okay. So I guess without further ado, we'll get into the thumbnail examples for today. Where were they? Ta-da! So up first is one of Axion Senpai's thumbnails. This one was one of his first ones, I think. It was, or am I? Wait, do I have that right? I want to go check now. It was for oh no, now I'm like I am. Or actually not. I was confusing it with one of his other upload. I thought it was. I was confusing it with one of his early uploaded videos, but it was actually a stream he did a couple months ago. I'm gonna lose my #1 Axion fan privileges at this rate. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, as part of the making for the stream, I asked my genmates to do me a favor and send me a collection of their thumbnails in a zip file, and they both graciously agreed to do that for the purposes of this stream. So thank you both to Karasu Fenor and Axion. So yeah, this one, this was for Axion stream on like basically on critical thinking and debate skills and stuff like that. I think actually this was the last stream he did before my debut as a VTuber. Like this was actually the night before, and I did watch it. But not to get too off topic. Anyway, what do you guys think? Like how would you guys critique this thumbnail? What do you think is right with it? What do you think is wrong with it? Because we've already listed out the principles as to what makes a good thumbnail that we're going to be looking for: spacing, contrast, hierarchy, and flow. So how do you think this one does on sort of each of those metrics? I'm gonna give my own answer in just a minute. I think I can close my notebook now because I've written the stuff on the screen already. Oof. So I think the main thing I want to critique here is spacing. I hope it's still clear as to sort of what the overall composition looks like, given that I think both chat and my body are blocking the sides of the thumbnail. I guess I could maybe it might be more effective if I made the thing a bit smaller, because this with parts of it covered, it's hard to really sort of appreciate what the composition looks like on its own, which means that our critique is not really going to be as effective, I think. So I think am going to resize this, and I think that's better. Is that better? Maybe I should move it still, like, or maybe I could move me. Maybe I should move me. What is the best way to do that? Well, I don't want to move myself any more than that, actually. Okay, and then where was it? Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Alright, we're gonna go with that. Robo says, between Axe and the Thinkers, the title is framed nicely, but I think the colors are a bit dull. That's one, yeah, that's one possible critique we could make, but it's not the main one that I was thinking of. So I will, I guess, add a disclaimer that some of this may be, you know, subjective, as art often is. So, you know, we may have disagreements as to what we would you know yeah, how we judge the each example. But I'm gonna say that for this one, I think my main issue with it is the spacing. The use of spacing could be a lot more effective on this one. I'm gonna try to draw on the screen to show you. So, where's this? Okay. So the thing that sort of sticks out to me about this one is that Axe and the text and like the title are like sorry, Axe and the title text and like this guy are all like kind of far apart. And then because they're far apart from each other, this guy is like super close to the edge of the screen. He's like right at the edge of the screen, being cut off by it. And like Axe is also like pretty close to the edge of the screen. And then there's just so much dead space in between that's not being put to use. And what this does is that it interrupts the flow of the whole composition. So basically, the fact that there's so much dead space on the composition breaks up the movement of your eye. So your eye doesn't feel naturally guided from one thing to another. Like it has to take breaks in between, like going from Axe to the title to the guy, because everything is like so far apart. And the way to fix this is basically, for this one, the fix would be pretty simple. We would just basically want to move the screenshot of Axe's model a bit more this way. The title could maybe probably stay there, and then move this guy in a little more. If it were me, if it were my thumbnail, I also would have considered maybe putting the title more to a little more this way, and then Axe also a little more this way, and then moving this guy all the way to the oh, that's too far, all the way to the other side of Axe like this, to put more emphasis on the title. Because the title text could also be bigger if you you know, wanted that to be the main focus of the composition, which it usually is. Fake Axion sketch I'm thinking on the toilet needs to face the right symmetry. Is that do they have toilets in ancient Greece or whatever period the statuette is depicting? I don't know about that one. So yeah, and higher, yeah. So we can critique it based on the other principles as well. So I mean, in terms of hierarchy, I feel like Axe and the text are like both roughly the same size, so they kind of compete with each other for attention. I think because there's just so much dead space around here, the text could have been bigger, and then that could have fixed the space problem as well without moving the other elements. Do orbs even need the toilet? I mean, I assume that while he's in human form, you know what? I'm not discussing this. We're just moving. We're just moving on. Wait, what else? And then contrast. Yeah, Robo pointed out that the colors are a bit dull. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if the background was a bright color, then it could have detracted from the other elements. Another option would have been maybe to add a subtle texture, like maybe a green texture to the background or something like that. Yeah, but I don't know. Colors. I don't know if colors are my main issue with this one. I'm more concerned with the composition. And then next one. Wait, no. What? Why is it doing this? Hey, wait. Oh no, guys! I renamed the files, but OBS is still, what's the word? OBS organized them still look differently than how they are organized in File Explorer for some reason. So I'm gonna, now I have to, oh god. maybe I'll have to just have to do these out of order and out of the order that I had in mind and improvise. Okay, well that kind of sucks. So this one is a thumbnail that Karisa Senpai made for his unarchived Christmas karaoke stream. So you won't find this one on his channel right now. I'm gonna start with some of the things I like about this. I think it's like whimsical. It's funny, as I think a lot of Kara Senpai's thumbnails are. I think that's one of his thumbnail makings. That's like a frequent strength of his thumbnails. Like let me switch back to Clip Studio Paint. You can see that here he's got Parrot holding like the microphone up to his face, which is like really funny, and it's like absurd because Carrot, like as you can see, Parrot does not have opposable thumbs, so I don't know how he's accomplishing this, but it's probably one of the most helpful things he's ever done for Karis, for his master. And it's readable. Like there's a lot of contrast. I don't know what you call it here. The pine tree border is contrast well with the green of it. Contrast well with the pale background. I feel like this text probably could have been a brighter red. I mean, it's kind of, I feel like it's maybe being overshadowed a bit by this dark green. Text also, you'll find that I'm pretty nitpicky about spacing. Text could have also been maybe more this way. Cause okay, let's stop to explain this. Who here has heard of the rule of thirds, or knows what it is? The rule of thirds being a compositional tool in many forms of visual art, including illustration and graphic design. Basically, what the rule of thirds stipulates is that the most sort of attention-grabbing points of a composition are the ones that are aligned with the points on, like, with basically the points that would form if you separated your composition into like a 9x9 grid. So, I'll give you that's not good. But I'll give you an example right now. So, if we just formed a rule of thirds based grid on this one, it would look something like this. And then, well, that's not very perfect, but maybe I'll try to make it a little bit better. No, that's... well, I could use the line tool for this, but oh well. It's crooked! No. Okay, I'm just leaving it like that. So this, the theory of the rule of thirds stipulates that the most the focus points of the composition will be these ones, the ones located here, and it's good to have it's good practice to have the sort of the focal point of your composition be aligned with one of these sort of imaginary points, the one that corresponds with number 1 on your hierarchy. So generally on a VTuber thumbnail, that would be the text, in this case that being the Christmas karaoke text. And like I think the a minor issue with it that you can see here is that it is misaligned with the the 9x9 grid here. So ideally, you would want the center of the focal point of this element to be aligned with the you know, one of the rulers, the grid lines. So if you moved the text over by this much, it would actually make the composition a lot more pleasing, and it's very doable considering that there's like sort of not a lot of space here, and then a bit of dead space between Karis's head and the text. And speaking of which, so the contrast here is good, but something that can be improved on, the spacing could be improved, and so could the hierarchy, because look how big Karis made his head. Like, I know we joke about him being big-headed, but this is quite literal, don't you think? So having his head being this big on the composition kind of violates the rule about hierarchy, because you kind of want to just choose one focal element for the picture. It's gotta be either the text or the VTuber model. You don't want them to compete with each other, and usually the text wins out because the text is the part that contains the, you know, important information about what this stream is about, and so the VTuber model has to take a slight backseat. There are two main ways, I would say, to accomplish this, or actually more than two ways, but here are sort of two of the key ways. One is to make the text aligned, once again, the center line of the text aligned with the grid. Another one is to make the and then also make the VTuber model not aligned with the grid, so that it's sort of like off focus. And then that's the spacing related method. And then there's another key method, which is sizing related, which is to make the text bigger and then the VTuber model smaller than the text. But here, Karis made his head so big that it's sort of crowding out the text, and I feel like this is actually a common problem with Karis Senpai's thumbnails. Like it's a lot of his thumbnails are like this, and it's like the text is like so small and you can barely read it because his like fat VTuber head is taking up all the space. And like that's not good, because we want to know what the stream is about. We need to read the text. I gotta catch up with chat. You guys left a lot of comments. Robo said, that's just a me thing. I look for bright colors that pop, using color to draw the eye into the text. I think we'll have the chance to talk a little more about color later. I think it sort of is a little when it comes to the last thumbnail, I think that there is sort of like room for discussion as to you know, what we could do about the colors. I don't have a clear answer myself. I just, you know, my focus was on other things. Yeah, I mean, in general, bright colors can help your designs be more eye-catching, but then, you know, that's not a rule that you can sort of take advantage of in every situation. Like, there will be situations where you're forced to work with more dull or neutral colors, so that's not like a hack that you can rely on every time. And the robot said, oh, I like this Karis one, the snow effects and holiday theme from the top. The text is a bright red/pink Mimi salmon. Yeah, I would call it like bright, like light red. And then I wonder if left justifying the text would use the space better. Empty space in the lower left. Oh, you're right, Belladonna. Yeah, I feel like sometimes, I think like, even like speaking for myself, I feel like by default I usually center justify my text, but sometimes, yeah, changing the alignment can make a difference. I use the rule of thirds all the time. Know it. Just got back. Why does the Santa hat have no outline? because Karis did the best he could. No, it's because it's probably I mean, I'm my guess is that the his model, which parrot is a part of, and the hats are different assets on different layers, and so when he added the border effect, it only affected him and parrot and not the mic or the hat. I've heard it. Do I remember it? No, something halfway. A better question: why doesn't Chairman have reindeer horns? You can ask him yourself. I'm not going to read that next comment. Penboo said, the issue I have with the rule of thirds for my thumbnails is that I find a lot of times it makes things a bit too cramped, so I sometimes find myself aligning to vertical quarter rules instead. I'd like to see an example of that in action and how that affects the look of your thumbnails. I don't really remember too well how your thumbnails look off the top of my head. His fat, obnoxious head is 40% of the thumbnail usually. Either that or fan art. Yeah, I feel like that says something about his personality, doesn't it? That the fact that his head is usually so front and center on his thumbnails. Do you think so? Man, I wonder just how much you can read into thumbnails and their creators' personalities. That's what I just said. We had the same thought. Sure, I'll follow up in the server later. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I think we're done with this one. I don't even know what's next. Oh, it's this one for some reason. Oh no, no. Okay, OBS is going to be. Okay, give me a minute. I think I want to try renaming my files again because this is like not working out for me. I feel like the bird kiss. Wait, yeah, maybe I'll leave this on the screen right now because it's funny. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take another moment to rename my files because this is like I don't like the way that this is going. It's good. This is just a repeat of what I was trying to avoid last month. Okay, I think I know. I know where I went wrong. I can fix this. It's just gonna take another minute. Do any of you have examples of maybe YouTubers or VTubers who are really good at making their own thumbnails? So I know in this day and age, some people recommend like making thumbnails using AI. I mean, like that is a thing that is possible to do, but I'm just gonna say that for me personally, I think I enjoy making thumbnails by hand, and you know, sure, that's probably in part because of my general background as an artist, but I think that there is I mean, like, making thumbnails is not too hard if you just know some basic principles about graphic design. Like, it's not rocket science, so I think that there's an art to it too. There's sort of yeah, there's just something to doing it by hand that I feel like you might as well do it because it's not that hard anyway, and then, you know, that's on top of like general reasons we might be opposed to AI part. Was playing around with OBS and VR sim racing, and fuck, OBS is a fiddly bitch. It is. It just Axe has been struggling a bunch with OBS lately. I think were you there, Robo, when he was talking about his ending screen chugging? We managed to sort that issue out, but you know, OBS is coming for everybody. All right, I'm gonna end this slideshow and then start it again. No, what the fuck? Okay, add directory. Oh. Okay, we're starting again from the beginning. Yeah! No, wait, no! That's actually still wrong. Wait, how did it turn out? Okay, you know what? No, okay, we were close. Okay, I wanted to do this one first. Okay. Tia pointing Xenoblade thumbnail is fun. Oh, you think I'm good at making thumbnails? Thanks. That's really flattering. It's probably, you know, it's probably just as well, considering, you know, I'm the one assuming the position of this expert who is qualified to judge other people's thumbnails right now. So, you know, it would be bad if I wasn't good at making thumbnails myself and was just kind of talking it on my ass. Oh yeah, people seem to really like that one Tia made. Yeah! Yeah, it makes me really happy. I put a lot of effort into it actually. I think it's it helped my 90 Days to Life Hold series take off. It's one of the reasons it's done pretty well. Yeah. I don't actually have that one prepared for today, but I mean I don't know if I want to bring it up on the screen right now. I feel like there's just something really kind of like memey and like clip arty about it. The way that there's just like so many things on the composition. Like there's me, and then the Lifehold core, and then the logo, and then like the random render of Elma in the corner. He looks so happy. Like what? That's text is almost cut. Yeah, so Tara. Okay, well, there's an earlier comment I missed. Hagelsaurus asked, "What program do you use for thumbnails?" I use Clip Studio Paint, which is illustration software. You know, same one I do illustrations in. I drew my artist. I'm my own VTuber artist, by the way. I drew my own model. If you didn't know that already, you know, so that's an example of something I did, a project I did in Clip Studio Paint. So I use I use it for making thumbnails as well because it's quite feature robust. I mean, why not when I spent like, you know, $300 on the software? Might as well get my money's worth, right? But but it's like, you know, Clip Studio Paint is like a professional artist software, so not everyone has that as an option for making thumbnails. So, for example, I know my senpai Axion uses DaVinci Resolve actually for making his thumbnails. That's what he told me. DaVinci Resolve being actually a video editing software, what he normally uses for making videos. And it's I haven't tried it, but I hear it's got quite a steep learning curve. Sounds rather intimidating, and it's quite feature robust. So I can sort of imagine how you might be able to make thumbnails in that. And that's what Axion uses. And then as for Karis, I don't think I've asked him directly. I think maybe he might have mentioned it once in passing and I forgot exactly what he said. I believe for, in his case he uses free software, which is like maybe like the least surprising thing if you like know about him. Like Axe and I are each using our fancy like proprietary like hundreds of dollars software, and then Karis, I think he uses like Photopea, which is, I think it's just like an in-app, just a free in-app thing that can handle PSD files. It's like a free browser version of Photoshop, I think. Or maybe he uses like, I don't know, like MS Paint or just something free that comes with Windows. Like he uses something like that. Isn't DaVinci Resolve a video editing program? Yeah, it is, but I think it's just so yeah, it's just got so many features that like apparently you can make graphics in it, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty resourceful with Axion considering he's not an artist, right? So I feel like the fact that he figured that out, even if it's maybe not the most conventional way of doing things, it's really cool in my opinion. And his thumbnails like actually look like pretty decent most of the time. Microsoft Paint. DaVinci is pretty good if you can get over the learning curve. I didn't have access to Adobe Premiere Pro. I would use that instead. Oh, I see. I use GIMP myself, and Does that say AG sub for the text because it's easier to work with text in there? I see. Photopea, I've used that. It's quite fine. Yeah, yo, I didn't know about that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think. Karis, you need some artistic help. I mean, should I say this? Should I say this? I mean, it feels unnecessary, but also, okay. If I had to like rank my and my genmates thumbnail making skills, I think my honest opinion is that Axe is like in the middle. Like his thumbnails like get a lot of things right. It's just they just sort of usually just need sort of minor fixes in order to go just from like adequate to excellent. And then that leaves Karis. I can't lie. I think Axion has more of a natural knack for design than Karis does. That's just my honest opinion. I know a corporate VTuber who makes thumbnails in Adobe After Effects, and I know a few indies who do it in Google Slides. Yeah, I can see people doing it in Google Slides as well. Honestly, hearing that, I feel a little spoiled. In that, like, I have access to Clip Studio Paint, which just gives me so many options and so much flexibility. But I guess you could also say that it's it's meaningless unless you know how to use Clip Studio Paint, because some people say that illustration software have a steep learning curve as well. Like once Axie and I were talking, and he said to me, he was being very kind. He was complimenting my artistic skills, right? Like the fact that I can like draw my own thumbnail artwork and things like that. And he was like, you know, I bet if I opened I think that was the time that we were talking about how we made our thumbnails, and I said, oh, I make mine in Clip Studio Paint, and he was like, oh man, I bet if I opened like Clip Studio Paint, I would just be very scared and confused. Using Figma is nice as well. What's Figma? I have to look that up. What is Figma in the context of art software? Figma. Can I find it? Figma. Software. Figma collaborative interface design tool. Oh, I think I found it. So it's another. Is it free? Or is it not free? Oh, is it, okay, well. Does it always matter whether the animal hair a brush is made of? Oh, it says, are you talking about software? No, I think it's an interesting topic. I mean, like, what if it does matter? Like, what if there is a meta as to like if you use horsehair, it like makes your paint strokes come out like a certain way versus if you use, I don't know, something else. Like, I think it's interesting to compare and get insight as to how you know, different features of different software can give you different results, and it gives you sort of some you know, awareness of like the limitations that each software comes with. I think it's interesting. Usually you use Figma to design program, but it's nice to use to design thumbnails. It's free. The paid one's just for the collaboration. Oh, you're right. Okay. Wait, we didn't even get to critiquing this one yet. So Tara already picked up on Tara happened to sort of predict what I was about to say about this one earlier. Oh, hello Tia in chat. Oh, hi Tyler. Oh, how are you today? We're 2 examples in. Today I'm just trying to teach graphic design, how to make better YouTube thumbnails using Karis's and Axion's thumbnails as examples. I had them send over some of their past thumbnails in zip files. which is very nice of them. Robo, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, Robo. It's a 10 out of 10 thumbnail. Well, we'll see about that. As I was saying, Tara predicted what I was, the critique that I was going to give about this one. So Tara pointed out that the text is cut off. Like, it's so, it's too close. It's too close to the edge of the screen, where it's basically touching, or not the screen, but the edge of the picture, and that's not good, because that actually violates a couple of principles. So for anyone who's just joined, I wrote some rules for graphic design that we should for thumbnail design that we should strive to follow in the top right there. It's got accident, of course it is. What would you rate a thumbnail that had Karis in it, out of curiosity? I feel like I know the answer to that question already, though. So yeah, spacing. So so you know how just a few moments ago I was talking about how Karis's thing, the thing he keeps doing on his thumbnails is like violating the hierarchy rule by like making his head too big. So Axe also has a thing as well, and his thing is just, I don't know why, but although his thumbnails may be alright in other regards, I feel like one area, like the area that he keeps struggling in, or like this is just his thing, right? Is a lot of his thumbnails have issues with spacing in particular. Like, he will, like, a common thing for him to do is put text like really close to the edge of the screen, like we see here. And we were saying that's not good because it's an inefficient use of space, because now, like, look, there's just so much dead space here, and it kind of looks awkward that, like, it's just kind of like forming like an awkward shape, like the composition. I think in terms of like the other aspects of I think like contrast is fine. Like the text and his model do a great job at standing out from the background. So it is still eye-catching. And then I think hierarchy is also fine. The text is like larger and sort of more attention-grabbing than his model. His model's more like a bit off to the side. So it's really just spacing and also flow. Now I haven't really explained. I haven't really given examples of flow so far. I'm gonna try to do so right now. So, what do I mean by flow? This is, I would say, an example of poor flow because of how, because there's dead space here and there's two elements here. It just feels like you want the eye to move all the way around a composition, but it's sort of hard in this case because to me, like, the text and his model sort of form like a half circle, like a U shape like this, and it doesn't connect, so it just, and then this space is empty. It just breaks up the flow of the picture. So I'm actually now going to I did a mock-up of sort of how I like featuring my adjustments to this thumbnail, like how I might have approached it instead. And so you can see I did a pretty a pretty poor job of sort of like blotching out the original text so that I could replace it. So here's my take on the same thumbnail. As you can see, the font isn't the same either. I did try it. Like, I don't know what font he used. It's not the exact same, but I tried my best to replicate the style. So I did a couple things here. One thing I did was just outright change the text to like what the text is, from "Let's celebrate" to 200 subs. And you might be able to imagine why. It's because I felt like with this thumbnail, since it's just it just says let's celebrate, you don't actually know what he's celebrating, right? Like if you're seeing this video, if you're scrolling through the sidebar or through your homepage and you just see this, like you can't tell what he's celebrating. It just generically says like let's celebrate. It's like, celebrate what? The text is also like it's like the word celebrate is like so long. It's much longer than the word let's, so it's sort of forms an awkward shape. That looks like a hat, right? So I thought so the thing he was actually celebrating was achieving 200 subs. So in my version, I decided to just have it say 200 subs, and Tyler said, to be fair, with the let's celebrate, isn't the 200 subs in the title of the stream? It was, but people don't always read titles, right? We were saying at the beginning that thumbnails are the single most factor when it comes to sort of the appeal of your videos. Thumbnails matter more than titles. Like, people won't always read titles. Like, thumbnails will see thumbnails and judge, whether they want to read the title or click like after that. But it's thumbnails first. So it's better to have the vital information in the thumbnail if you can. I know that's not always possible, and since there's only so much space, but in this case I felt like it was achievable. Like, I feel like saying 200 subs celebration is a lot better than saying let's celebrate. Yeah, and one sneaky thing I did here is first of all, 200 subs, both short like words character-wise, so they fit nicely like this. And then I made the word celebration half the font, half the size of the rest, so that it doesn't sort of like stick out like this. Tara says, I really like it since he likes the warped text, bigger left, smaller right. Doing that mirrored for him might pull inward instead of cutting. I'm not sure what you mean by the second part, but yeah, he did add a perspective effect to his text here. So I did try to replicate it, although I think my version is not as obvious. But anyway, in any case, so you can see that here in my version compared to this. Spacing, there's a much more better use of there's a much better use of spacing, because the spacing on each side of 200 subs is roughly equal, and that gives it a nice sense of balance. If we were to draw the rule of thirds grid on this, that is not a straight line, but that is not okay. I should maybe use like a different color. I mean, I use no. Yeah, you can kind of see that the center line of the text is pretty aligned with the 3x3 grid, and I didn't even have to draw a grid when I did this. I can just sort of like intuit where things are supposed to go, because I'm really used to doing this. And I feel like there's a much better sense of flow with this version as well, because now the text and his model sort of form a more sort of circle square shape, like this, instead of just being an incomplete U shape that doesn't move your eye around. So this is, I would say, a much more pleasing composition. Yeah. Is there anything more to say about this? Okay. Ah! What do you know? Whose thumbnail is this? So as part of today's presentation, I wanted to talk about I wanted to include sort of analyses on some of the thumbnails that I made, to sort of like for the purposes of comparison. So my thumbnails are supposed to be successful examples of the rules of design successfully put into practice. So for this one example, what do you think is successful about this thumbnail? Because the stream that this was for actually like kind of popped off. It was one of my best performing VODs at the time. So clearly it did a good job of piquing people's interest. And that's a good thumbnail. Thank you. I did think so myself after finishing it. What does this one do well? Or if you think there's something it does poorly, you can let me know as well. I'm gonna go ahead and start. So I'd try to really pay close attention to spacing when I do my thumbnails. So you can see here, once again, just like with my revision of Axis thumbnail, spacing is roughly, not like that, roughly equal on each side of the text, so that gives it a nice sense of balance. And same thing with the vertical spacing. It's the same distance from the top and bottom of the edge of the screen. And then wait, arrow wasn't real, not a true YouTube thumbnail. What do you mean arrow isn't real? What is a real arrow in this context? But they do say that a certain YouTube thumbnail hack is to add arrows to pointing to things, because that is an example of flow. It helps lead the eye around and leads the eye to important features of the thumbnail. To me, it feels kind of memey. It also feels, I don't know, but I can't deny that it is effective. So on a couple of my thumbnails so far, I've put the text like philosopher, and then I added an arrow saying like, this is me, I'm the philosopher. It says red, but it says red, not you. That looks like red. Okay, because I'm reading. I'm not looking at the YouTube chat box. I'm looking at the chat box on OBS, like on the OBS like screen, like the same chat, like the So it's the text is really small. The green and red contrast nicely, and it all draws the eyes to the title, the distinction between the title and the label philosopher. Oh, thanks. Another thing that I personally like about this one is the background, because you see how the background has the money texture. Because if you can imagine, if it didn't have that, then it would look quite plain. So I was sort of trying to think about what can I do to spruce this up? And I thought I downloaded a free paper money brush on the Clip Studio Paint asset store, and it worked perfectly for this. I set up the size of the brush and everything perfectly so that it would turn out like this. And not only it's thematic, right? It's not just a random texture, it directly corresponds with the theme of the stream, so I was really satisfied with that. Another random thing about this thumbnail is for some reason, I originally envisioned the background being blue, and then I tried that and I was like, I don't think this actually works. I don't think it makes sense. And then I decided to change it to green at around the same time I came up with the money idea, which is a lot more fitting, I would say. So sometimes with thumbnails, it's also not uncommon to have a vision, and then you try it out, you mock it up, and then it doesn't work, and then you sort of have to pivot to something else. No red circle either. I like wacky fonts, so that's my big gripe, but I think the background would make most fonts very hard to read. Wacky. I try to avoid fonts that are too wacky because I'm concerned about legibility. And since the topic of the stream is supposed to be more serious, I decided to go with a font that was a bit more like sort of a business-like, spacing, and then flow. I'd say the flow of this thumbnail is also pretty good. How do I do the thing? Where's the The flow basically follows the arrow, and I would say it kind of goes like this. So it intersects with, again, one of the line of thirds, and goes across here, the font. So it forms sort of a nice, not quite a circle, but yeah, it connects nicely like this. I would say hierarchy is also right, because the size and placement of the title gives it more of a focus than my face. And then contrast was already mentioned. Robo said that the green and the red contrast nicely, and I would add that the black border, a strong black border around the text, also helps it stand out from the background. This tip may be out of date, but you'd be surprised how much free assets you can get from DeviantArt used to just message people, and most just want to be credited. I don't use DeviantArt anymore, and I don't really want to message people. Like the Clip Studio asset store, or sorry, Clip Studio Paint asset store has a lot of just free things on it, and you can just like download them and use them without needing to message anybody. But I guess that's just the kind of thing that's only useful if you have Clip Studio Paint to begin with, which not every VTuber is going to. Leading the eye into loop is a useful technique. Wait, why is it showing this? Oh, I think I pressed the wrong button by accident. Okay, and then next, here's gonna be another example of effective flow. Maybe the biggest one today. Where do I start with this? So this stream, mascot reveal. I imagine most of you here probably remember this one. Funny story about this one. I actually, at the time that I did the stream, it actually had a different thumbnail from this one. As for why, if you remember the circumstances behind the stream was delayed. I was running late that day. You know, things were very hectic and I didn't have a lot of time, so I didn't have I spent less time on the thumbnail originally than, you know, what I would normally like to spend. Because of that, yeah, the original thumbnail was different, and I didn't think it was very good. I don't have it anymore. I overwrote it with this one, but after the stream ended, I noticed it didn't get a lot of views, and I looked at the thumbnail itself, and I wasn't very happy with how it looked. So I decided that I was going to redo it. Basically, the theme was similar, like the colors and stuff were, the style was similar, but I am. Basically, I think, just to describe to you maybe roughly how it used to be, I think the text used to be like in this area, and my model was like a lot smaller. It was kind of in the corner down here, but that resulted in poor flow because there was like some awkward dead space here. So I really struggled with this one, but in the end, I decided to make the text. I decided to make my model bigger, and since the text had like nowhere else to go, I just put it in the bottom. And I don't normally like to put things actually this close to the edge of the screen, but if you have to put text near the edge of the screen, it's probably better to put it near the top or the bottom, because the eye doesn't have to travel as far to see the entire thing, versus because the thumbnails are wider than they are tall, right? And I think this one does well on hierarchy. I think, or does it? Actually, now I don't know if the focus is more on the mascot silhouette or me. I think I would say contrast is good, because the pale background contrasts with my bright model and the black silhouette. And then flow, I'm proud of the flow in this one, because you can kind of see that it forms like roughly kind of like a triangle shape between my face, the center of the text, and the center of the silhouette. Generally, when it comes to flow, you know that you've achieved good flow when generally you want the flow to form some sort of like shape that the eye can follow. It's often going to be like a circle or a triangle like this one, or maybe a square, like some sort of shape. Sometimes it can be a line in certain compositions, like a straight line. I would say that's probably less applicable to thumbnails, but some paintings do that. I think that's might be a thing you find more often in illustration. If you need assets, I recommend going to, what does that say? Maybe I should pull up the YouTube chat box so I stop misreading things. Owl Material and Okumono. I haven't heard of those. Maybe I'll check them out later. Tara says, I like this one. A very magical girl in character reaction sequence. Maybe the text could be a bit smaller and with more spacing between the letters. Yeah, maybe. That's sort of like a minor thing. I don't think it did any harm in the end. I will say this. So you know how just now I mentioned that the stream didn't do very well in terms of views when it first aired. So I changed the thumbnail like later that day, and now it's actually it's in the top 50% of my streams view count wise. So basically, like what that implies is that a lot of people came to watch the stream, like the VOD, after the stream had already aired and after I changed the thumbnail, which is to say that's evidence that thumbnails are really important. They're really influential in determining the success of your streams. Yoav says, to me the arrow immediately makes me focus on the thingy. Yeah, that's the idea. I was trying to make the silhouette the main focus of the composition, though maybe it is because I'm autistic. I thought there was something about focusing on faces that autistic people do less. I've heard that as well. I would be curious to know if that applies also to anime faces, which are maybe a little more abstract and not subject to the same rules as real faces, or if it's the same for both like cartoon faces and real faces. If you're comfortable with sort of sharing your perspective, that is. Next. I put 3 of mine in a row. Maybe I should have spaced them out more. For this one, I'm gonna try to go through this one fast. So I feel like this one does hierarchy well, because look, this text is the biggest element and it's located in the top left, which is sort of the most powerful like point of the corner of thirds, because in the sort of, you know, as English speakers, we generally look at things from left to right and then top to bottom. So top left sort of quadrant is usually the one that sort of has the most, that people focus on the most. And not that you can always put things there. I mean, you know, sometimes you gotta improvise. But and then my face is the sort of secondary element, and then the philosopher text, which is smaller than this text, is tertiary. So I feel like this one has a good sense of hierarchy. And then it's got good flow as well, right? Because the text and the arrow and my face form like a circle with this. It kind of leads the eye around. I think maybe the flow on this one is not as good as the last one, because there is a bit of dead space here. But yeah, contrast I would say is good as well. So I also try to keep contrast in mind for my thumbnails. That means that you know, for example, if my model uses a lot of midtones, I try to keep the background either very light or very dark, so that they stand out from one another. So in this case, the background is lighter than I think I would say overall it's lighter than my model, and I also added a radial gradient to the background, so that means the middle stands out more than the edges. Otherwise, it would have been a lot plainer looking. So this, I think, also helps with the sense of flow, because it aligns with the flow that is already established by the frontal elements, foreground elements. Wow, Justice endorsed clickbait. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do as a YouTuber, man. It's the meta. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Oh, this is a good example of using the person as an arrow without pointing, as she's just looking at the title. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure I thought of it that way. It's been a while since I made this thumbnail. This one was for one of my earlier chatting streams. Okay. And I think at this point, I actually wanted to compare two streams, or not two streams, two thumbnails about the same topic. So, Karis, Axion, and I, the three of us all being philosopher VTubers. I mean, Karis and Ax particularly, having debuted before me. The two of them have played a number of the same games, including What Remains of Edith Finch. Which means that Karis has a take on a thumbnail for this game, and so does Axe. Tia, please move. Okay, there we go. Mortality. Did that really say mort? I think you meant to say morality. It's funny that mortality, because that makes it sound like by playing the algo, like we become immortal somehow. No, you need to explain something. Is it immoral? Like, okay, how is it how is clickbait? Okay, there's just should I get into the weeds of this? First of all, is it clickbait? Does it count? What is the definition of clickbait? Because I would define it as a thumbnail that doesn't match with the video, but it's just there to get people to click on it. It's like misleading. Is this thumbnail misleading? Because I don't think that a thumbnail being eye-catching, and using certain techniques is misleading, as long as it matches the content of the video, which I would say that this one did, because I did end up explaining what justice means as justice incarnate. You could disagree with my definition, but I did explain it. And then is it bad to use techniques and strategies to my advantage if I have good intentions? If my intentions are ultimately to make the world a better place. Now this is getting into ethics, because for example you could say well, YouTube is a bad company, so if you're a YouTuber, you're giving money to a bad company, so you're that means you're not doing the right thing. But then that becomes a question of, well, I mean, you can't really be there's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism, right? We're all we all have to make those kinds of choices on a day-to-day basis, because yeah, we live in that kind of system. So I know you're probably joking, and also the fact that it auto-corrected it to mortality is really funny. I'm just joking. I don't think it's immoral for me. I just kind of feel playing the algo is a bit debasing. That's fair. That makes me recall Karis's discussion, because I think Karis has, I think it was his one of his recent streams that he talked about this, about how when he first started out as a VTuber, he was really hesitant to cater to the algo in any way, thinking it went against his principles. But now he has second thoughts about that. And whereas that's something that I've just basically thought from the beginning. Maybe that's just because of my background in business, but yeah. Anyway, so we're critiquing these. Two men, two Edith Finch thumbnails. Who did it better? Let me know who you think did it better. Tara says, in the meantime, I'll read comments. Tara says, man, Karis has never been in charge of a Canva presentation. I wouldn't trust it with this one. Algorithm caused death. Tia, show hotter thumbnails from Max clickbait. I'm trying my best. Most of my thumbnails are just the screenshots of my model because I don't have like a lot of fan art. Like, it's not like I'm like a HoloLive member, like constantly getting like lewd fan art that like I just have like troves of it that like I just have like I'm just spoiled for choice as to which fan art I can use in my thumbnails. It's not like I'm like Callie or Kiara. I mean, I could draw my own. I just don't have that kind of time either. And then it also raises the question of like, is the audience that would be attracted by that kind of thumbnail the one that I actually want to court? Because maybe not, you know. Random funny, but you know those Halo headbands. Seeing Tia thumbnails made me think she needs one, except it has Philosopher's Stone with the Halo. That could be really funny. Maybe I'll try that one time. I wouldn't do it every time, but maybe just once. Closed eyes equals sad VTuber acts. The second one. So that one is better. I'm gonna break it down. So contrast, pacing, contrast, and a hierarchy and flow. I mean, I love those kinds of thumbnails. Your audience, Tia. You know what? We're gonna save the discussion on that for another time. We got some graphic design to do. So let's start with hierarchy because I feel like it. I think Karis is guilty of the fat head have it again. Like it's really I feel like the logo is not given much breathing room when the text is like so much smaller than his head, like way over here. Like, you know. Wow, so this one, like the title is actually much bigger than Axe's face. So like that is like the main thing that you see. It's like, okay, you're like, what remains of this is a what remains of Edith Finch playthrough. You're not looking at this like, who is this guy with this fat head? And then, well, that's hierarchy. And then spacing. I feel like spacing. I don't think the spacing is perfect on either of these. I think that for Axes at least, I think that if he moved the text again, since we were talking about rule of thirds, I think if he moved it a little more this way, so that the logo is aligned with the center. Like, but there's a little bit of. I think there's a little bit of too much dead space between him and the text, so if he just moved it a little to the right, I think it would have looked better. As for Karis, no, I'm actually not gonna comment. For Karis, it's not the spacing that's the issue, it's more just size. Like, his head really should have been smaller, and that would have fixed a lot of the issue with this thumbnail. And then as for contrast, Karis tried. I mean, technically, the black logo does contrast well with the white background, but I think that this thumbnail is so much more eye-catching because of the glow around the text and the and Axis model, and how that really helps juxtapose it with like the vivid background, like the black logo against the vivid background with sepia tones. I found this one like really eye-catching. It's honestly kind of like breathtaking. Like when I first saw him put up the waiting room on his channel and I saw it, I was like, whoa, this one is like really nice. So when it comes to who did it better, I'm afraid I've got to hand it to Axe. I think he did finish better. You can use Picker if you need fan art, but only when that's that commercial. I don't need fan art or assets or anything like that. Like I appreciate your attempts to help, but I'm managing. I have the assets I need, and I don't like need fan art. My husband is just messing with me because he thinks he's thinking with a different part of himself other than his brain right now. But that's pay no heed to him. I'm just gonna say it. I can't wait for the community to ship Axe and Karis just for the fan art. There are people already doing that. There is no how do I say this? There's no like explicit fan art of it yet. Like there's no there's no hardcore fan art of it yet, but people have been people have been doing that since like before my debut, because like Karis and Axe like started collabing like before my debut. It's been happening since then, the shipping. I can show you, like there's fan art, there is fan art of them together, just not anything that is like outright like shippy, you know what I mean? I can even show you. It'll take a minute. Because I know you're like not on Discord, Robo, so I don't think you would have seen this one necessarily. I mean, you might have maybe on a Karis stream, but just in case, I'm gonna actually, what's the best way to do this? I could stick it. Yeah, I could either stick on an OBS, or you know what? Maybe I actually should do OBS. I'm gonna just give me a minute. They do the closed eyes on both thumbnails indicate they're blind playthroughs. I don't know if they were blind. I mean, no, because Axe has played the game before, so not literally blind. Okay. Here's so for those of you who are already familiar with Cocaine-chan, she drew the fan art of me that I used on my Christmas karaoke stream. So he's a huge fangirl of Karis's, very talented young artist. Wait, what the fuck? Fuck. I don't know. Wait, no. Wait, I gotta. Wait, no. I know how to find it. I'm sorry if this is really big. It is! It's covering everything! Ah! Wait, I'm gonna... I need to put this behind everything. For a more legitimate answer, I think Axe is better. It's a bit more balanced, if that makes sense. Yeah, you're probably picking up on the better, like, the hierarchy, because, like, again, Karis's face being so big, it just detracts from the composition, in my opinion. So here you go. This is the main fan art of Axe and Karis that I can think of that exists so far, drawn by Cocaine-chan. They're both wearing sort of casual sweater, like fall, autumn fashion. I don't know. She wrote a pretty funny blurb for her picture as well. Maybe I'll try to pull it up. She said like on her post, because she put it up on the art channel on Karis' server, right? So also a normal fan art, Axion is mogging the fuck out of Karis. So I tried to give Karis more drip to balance it out, but I don't think it worked, so Karis is suffering, but that's normal for him. Oh, and then Hannah followed up with Axion looks so cunty. But yeah, Chairman is suffering is very normal for him, so I wouldn't worry. And Zero and Tara also left comments, and then Cocaine-chan said, thanks, gays. And yeah, I'm gonna hide this now. Sorry. Wait, I missed Tara's comment. Axion has a nice color. Yeah, I agree. The text is exalted. Yes, standing on the side like a teacher next to a projector. Oh yeah, it does look like that. You're right. Karis is on a video call in landscape mode and his fat head covers 40% of the view. I am doing that. God bless you, Professor. Discord scares. I mean, oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, there are maybe some things that happen on the Discord that you could be missing out on if you're not on, but like not much. Like I try to like everything that's sort of essential. I try to post on like Blue Sky / Twitter or like on streams. So yeah, I know not everyone, you know, necessarily wants to use Discord, so I do try to keep my other socials updated and stuff. Okay, there's so much to unpack in Clag Lackey's latest comment. I thought, okay, like I am like not okay. How do I say this? First of all, I am not the foremost expert on this topic, but I thought fujoshi is literally a term for women. Like it's like for women. It's the term. The term like specifically refers to women who are yaoi fans as opposed to like gay men who are yaoi fans. And then like okay, there are a lot of things I need to say here, but I guess I'll start with I understand why people I don't know if I should say this. Okay, I understand why people want to ship my genmate, my other two genmates, my male genmates together, okay? I've noticed this thing where like I think that women and like queer people in general, a lot of women and queer people are just like really desperate for queer representation to the point where like, for example, they'll take a guy like Karis who they like, and then like pretty much just because Axion is like the very first guy who comes along, like they get like shipped together, like regardless of whether they have any actual chemistry as a couple, it's just like the first guy that conveniently comes along gets shipped. And like Axis straight, and Karis says he's straight. He doesn't seem straight, but he says he's straight. But like Axis is like, I don't know. There's just something absurd about it to me. I guess like I'm not gonna tell anyone else what to do. Speaking for myself, I personally feel a little uncomfortable shipping real-life people together, especially if I don't think that they're actually into each other or if their sexual orientations aren't compatible. That feels sort of intrusive. I find it disrespectful. I'm not gonna tell anyone else. I'm not trying to tell anyone else what to do. You do you. You do what you do. What makes you happy. I'm just talking about my own preferences. And then the other thing I want to say here. I'm not a fan of this pairing, but I saw somebody the other day come up with a better ship name for this pairing. It was actually, let me write it on the board. I feel like I'm gonna regret this. Let me hide this for a second. And I'm OCD, so I wanna resize this a little, and make it like flush with the border. Is that flush? No, it's close enough. I saw somebody write this in the Library of Alexandria the other day. No, that's not. This is the pairing name that I saw the other day. It went like this. Karen, as in the mythological figure, also the name of Pluto's moon, if I have that right. I think this is a better, like, as someone who is like doesn't have any emotional investment into the ship, I think that this is actually a pretty good ship name. You have tough competition. Kara Sesame Street isn't Sesame Street. They have great chemistry. I'm not saying they don't have great chemistry. I'm just saying, regardless of whether they did, I mean, it's just, to me, it just seems absurd that like it just happened. It's just like Kara's, because Kara's debuted like a year and a half ago. Like Kara's fans were just like waiting all this time for like the first guy who came along. That's how it feels like to me. And as for permission, I didn't accuse you of not asking for permission. I'm just saying that if it were me, if I wouldn't, to me, like, asking for permission like wouldn't make it okay if they're just, I'm just like not comfortable with shipping real people together. Axis is another good one. Let's try that one out. Axis. Wait, no, the wrong. Axis. How do you guys like this one? Maybe how do you do a poll as a YouTuber? How do you What if I make like a poll and see which one people like better? YouTube live stream poll at the bottom of the chat window, tap add. Oh, start a poll. I see it now. Start a poll. Ask question. Ship name. Do we like Karen or Axis better? Okay, you guys vote. I don't know if it will show on the on screen. Okay. Poll should be somewhere at the bottom of the. Yeah, I found it. Okay, what's going on here? One vote. I see one vote. Wait, why is there only one vote? Everyone should vote. 2 votes. Okay, I see. So first, like, Axis 200%. No, wait, no, 100%. So far, everyone likes Axis more than Karen. And I was Oh, Lucky says, alright, I've gotta leave. I did my job, randomly joined a live chat, weird champed everyone on. Bye, Lucky, have a great day. And then another thing I wanted to say is that I'm concerned, like, okay, since all the Yaoi fans on Kyrus's community are gonna want to like draw these two together and dip them together and stuff and stuff, like, I'm concerned that there's gonna be an imbalance of the quantity of fan art for different combinations of Vlosophy members. So that means there's not gonna be as much fan art of like you know, me and Karis or me and Axion, and like it doesn't have to be romantic, right? Like I'm not saying like specifically like that kind of like content. It's just like, but like the three of us are all friends, and like each of our unique like two member like combinations have our own, you know, interesting dynamics. So I don't know, feels kind of unfair, unequal to me. That's my honest opinion. Anyway, how long until the poll ends? Is it like 5 minutes? 5 votes. It's like 60% Axis. 60% in favor of Axis now. Yeah, I'm gonna move on though. Let's take this off. Alright, you guys got to look at the cool fan art by Cocaine-chan. And now it's back to this. It goes until you close it. Oh, it does? I like Karen because Pluto's moon. Yeah, I think you were the one who I saw suggesting it, Belladonna. But I don't know, it feels like so far people like Axis better. Tia Axis has a... What? What? What is this? Is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be like? Is this supposed to be like our like? This is so cursed. Is this supposed to be like our threesome name? Like this? Like is this what you were like? You know what it's called when it's the three of us? It's Vlosophy. Bro, my brain is insane. No, wait, my brain is broken. It's you, Polly. I'm not in. I am a pure and innocent say-so maiden. Like, why would I know about any of these things, huh? I'm not even joking. Like, I waited for marriage. Like, I'm a sheltered girl. And what? Okay, I think we were supposed to be doing graphic design until we got carried away talking about yaoi. It's 50-50. Wait, did I vote? Did I vote? Wait, oh no, I can't vote. I guess that's considered cheating. Leon, what did you pick? Did you vote? Maybe I'll wait until the timer reaches 5 minutes, and then I'll end it. And then maybe if it's still tied, my vote will be the tiebreaker. Oh, it says okay, 5 minutes ago. Okay, I ended it. Is it gonna show up? Are the results gonna show up? Maybe in a minute. Yeah, 50-50. I think I'm gonna vote Axe. Wait, I mean, Actually, honestly, I'm not sure myself. I like the sound of axis, but it's not unique. It's not as unique since axis is a common word. So when you say axis, it may not be like obvious that you're talking about a particular pairing. You know what? We're just gonna move on. We don't have more time to devote to this. This was fun, but we gotta move on. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable talking about my genmates in this way. I don't care if you know, so and so has their permission or they're okay with it. But I personally am not comfortable with too much of this kind of discussion. So you know, don't expect it to happen regularly. Okay, we did this. Okay, we did one who did it better. We're gonna do another one. Speaking of collabs between Axe and Karis, their first collab about a month after Axe's debut was a discussion on AI, the philosophy of AI, and they both streamed it. It was on both their channels, which means once again, two thumbnails about the same thing. So this is actually Axe's version first, and this is Karis's version. So funnily, they both had more or less the same concept for the thumbnail, right? With the hands, like the human hand touching the robot hand, and then the two of them, their faces sort of in the corner, but different takes on the same concept. I'm guessing they must have discussed beforehand what the concept for the thumbnails would be, because it's too similar to be a coincidence, right? I don't think they did these you know, came up with these independently of each other, because it would be too much of a coincidence. I need some Tion shippers though. You're gonna call it Tion? That's actually not bad. Actually, you know what? Since I'm kind of mad. I feel kind of indignant. You know what? I think I've mentioned one of these in passing. It didn't catch on. I'm gonna give you my ideas as to the other two sort of configurations or permutations of Vlosophy members. Okay, watch this. This is what I thought of. Oh wait, that's too far left. No, actually, I could make some more space. Like, and then I'm gonna write this one on. Not like that. No, I'm gonna write this one underneath. There's more space. Should this have an eye? That looks cute. This is what I thought of for the for the other two Vlosophy configurations. The Tia Faire is it's actually the name of a skill in Fire Emblem. Raises raises the damage done when equipped with an axe by 5. I think it sounds cool. And then cherry tea is supposed to be cute. It's like, you know, get it? Sounds like cherry tea, like the drink. Let me get back to the thumbnails though. I like this. I like the colors here. Gold, silver, silver blonde, nice reflection. Silver blonde. I don't know what they're talking about. I prefer Axe's version. Yeah, so we're getting to that. Oh, he's Euro. Oh, hello. Hi, Umar animates. That took me too long to say. Hello. Yeah, so we spent so long talking about yaoi, and now my brain needs a minute to remember the rules that we were talking about. Let's go to the axe. Yeah, it sounds like that too. An axe fair. Okay. Spacing, contrast, hierarchy, flow. Who do you think did it better based on these rules? I'm gonna go with let's see. I think Axis is better, both spacing wise and like, and I think Axis is better in most regards. I have to say, it's better in terms of flow because I'm gonna get rid of this off the screen. His is really clever in that now you can divide. You can sort of it's like the composition kind of forms a square that can be further divided by a diagonal into sort of two mirroring triangles like this. So it's actually a very strong composition. Karis's, on the other hand, is not quite so strong because he's got this, but then there's just like dead space over here since the title just goes all the way across the top. Whereas Axe made his title left justified. That was the technique that Belladonna mentioned earlier on, and it worked really well on this for this thumbnail. When it comes to contrast, I think that the magenta, I'm not sure exactly why he went with magenta as opposed to any other color, but nevertheless, it contrasts really well with their models, much better than this strange gradient, which is sort of goes from sort of like indigo to pink. And spacing, yeah, like this one makes much better use of space, whereas this one has like the dead space in the middle left. It kind of just breaks up the flow of the picture and makes it more awkward. So yeah, as I was saying, I think Axe has slightly more of a gift for graphic design than Karis does, since we keep declaring him the winner. Okay, this solo Karis one. What do you think this one did right and wrong? I'm gonna while you get to that, I think I'm actually gonna just take a minute to drink some water. Maybe I'm pretty parched. For this one, so you know how before I was saying that Axe has a habit of like putting text like really close to the edge or putting things really far apart, and that's his thing, and then Karis also has a thing which is making his head take up like half the thumbnail. Unfortunately, that is not Karis's only bad thumbnail habit, because I would argue that he maybe has another one, and it's on full display in this one. So how do you guys think this one does when it comes to contrast in particular? Because I feel like we can point out like one really glaring problem here relating to contrast. It's gray. Everything is gray. Everything is gray. His head model is gray. The background is gray. So there's like no contrast. It's all one big gray blob. Nothing stands out. It's like not nice to look at. And on top of that, there's no real sense of flow either, because his head is right in the middle, and then the logo is in the corner. I don't know. This is just a very strange. I don't feel like any graphic. I don't know if many. I can't say if any real graphic design decisions went into this thumbnail. I will. There was big heads. Wait, okay. Belladonna said big heads might work better on YouTube algorithms. Sadly, I mean, not if they crowd out the. I don't know if you were here this whole time, so from the start, but Not if they crowd out the text on that on the thumbnail, because generally text is more important than pictures in terms of conveying information. And what is it? It sort of just, it violates the rule of hierarchy to have like the not most important thing be the biggest. No, I pop in and out. Oh, okay. Yeah, the only part that kind of stands out is bits of his hair. Yeah, pretty much. So for this one, if I were to fix this one, I would probably either just choose a different background entirely, or if it had to be this one, I would maybe use a filter to make it either much lighter or much darker, so that it's just no longer in the same range as his, you know, as his hair and his model. Fuck, I get iPhone keyboard, sorry I had to say it. Okay. Chair really likes putting himself front and center. It kind of works for this one with the 2 boxes. Oh, maybe it would maybe be work. If he was just sort of going through. Oh, there are actually like 3 boxes, but one of them is kind of covered by his head. But if he was going for like a which box am I gonna choose kind of thing, it still would have helped to put more contrast. Like add more contrast by making the background lighter or darker or doing something, because like this, it's not a very exciting thumbnail to look at, in my opinion. I will say one thing in Karis's defense, which is that in my opinion, if your VTuber model is gray, like his one basically is, you are kind of doing thumbnails on hard mode, because gray is a neutral. It like naturally does not stand out. And what does that mean? That means that when you put your model in a background, there are a couple outcomes. One is that you put your model on a bright background and the background is, you know, grabs more attention than your model because the background is bright and your model is gray. Or if your model is also a dull color, then everything just blends in. So it's kind of, it's a lot harder to win. Your main options for standing out with a gray model are doing either a white background or like basically like white or almost white background, or a black or almost black background. So I feel like it kind of, yeah, it makes thumbnail making eye-catching thumbnails a lot harder. You know, and like in comparison to maybe like me and my model, for instance, like I am like bright red, and this is in part a conscious decision, like, and like it's that's, you know, partly because red is just my favorite color, but also because like it's like this wasn't completely calculated, but red is like also, it's hard for red not to stand out. Like the only way for me not to stand out on my thumbnails really is if like the background is also bright red, which I always avoid that. Like I've done light red, I've done dark red, I've done like other colors. I try to make the background like not blend in too much with like my skin tone, or you know, I try to avoid things like that. But it's pretty easy to do with red as your image color. Maybe you could put a gold glow around the boxes. Yeah, I think a glow around the boxes could have been really effective, but it would also take effort. I don't know, because the boxes are just part of the background, right? They're not their own, they're not separated from the rest of the background, so you'd have to do the glow effect manually, and I don't know if Karis has the skill or the patience for that. Do the 70s color swirly and gray Karis in the middle. Do you mean like a tie-dye effect? Let's assume that was me. Okay, another Karis thumbnail. So this one, you know how we were just talking about if you have a gray model, you either, you know, if you do a gray background, it blends in with you, or if you do a bright background, then it kind of overshadows you. So that's what Karis went with this one. He kind of bit the bullet and went with a pretty brightly colored background because it's got like yellow and red. I would actually say this is actually like a good thumbnail, especially by Kira's standards. Like it is, so finally, finally, Karis gets a W here. There actually is a pretty great sense of flow because the logo and his face and the dude here all form a circle, and then there's another person in the middle here that's right in the middle. It's actually like pretty nice. And then the hierarchy, I'd say the hierarchy, like the focus of the picture is like these two people, right? Like their interaction. This is like, it sparks a lot of intrigue. It's like, what is going on here? What are they doing? And then Karis is like, he actually like he kept his ego in check and made himself smaller. He made himself secondary in this one, which was the right call. Contrast is good, like the background is bright, Karis is not. I think spacing is also actually pretty good. There are no like major spacing issues that I can perceive. Like here, like this is not like, without that it's not. I think that's not too different from the space on this side. Yeah. The blueprints thumbnail shows how short Karis is. And then this thumbnail on his channel was paired with the title. Let me pull up his channel so that I can read it out. The game's called Road to Empress, and it was the second episode of Road to Empress, and he paired it with the title. They put yaoi in. We made a typo. It says they put yaoi in my Chinese political drama, and this VOD popped off. It got more than 500 views. And I think that just goes to prove that it does make a difference having a good thumbnail, especially if it's paired with a snappy title, which this one was. I think the combination of the thumbnail and the title were really ingenious on his part. So yeah. And this one, which I accidentally revealed earlier. I feel like I don't know if I want to review this one. It's got a lot in common with the other Christmas one that we already reviewed, so I feel like it would be kind of redundant. I'm getting hungry and tired. Oh, and this one, why did I include? I think, have we gotten to the end? This is an Axion thumbnail, but it's not one that he made. It's one that I made for him. I don't know why it's showing up. Oh, I know it's showing up now because of the just OBS, how OBS doesn't sort file names properly. It sorts them differently from the way that File Explorer does. But so I was gonna save this for the end, if at all, but I made this for Axe back in October, before even my debut, for a clip reel of his. It's not actually available on his channel anymore. He set it to unlisted for his own personal reasons, which is a bit sad. But yeah, I offered to make this for him because I had a vision as to how it would look like, and he liked it. I think some of the thumbnails, like, I mean, and if you think about it, like chronologically, like this predates like all the other thumbnails I've made for my channel. So I think that some of my more recent thumbnails have been better than this one, but I don't think this one is too bad. This Axiom thumbnail is perfect. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I don't know if this one is the absolute best. I mean, if I were to critique my own thumbnail, because it's been a while, I don't know if this one's the absolute best in terms of flow, because there's a bit of dead space here. I think the spacing is otherwise like okay. Contrast is at least good. There's like black and white. I think it doesn't really. Maybe I could have added a glow around him, but I didn't think about doing that at the time. I think hierarchy is also. I don't know. I feel like I could have made either the trolley bigger or him smaller. So I myself have I feel like learned things and refined my own thumbnail game once I became a VTuber myself. It could be improved if Karis is on the tracks. Well, the tracks aren't in this shot, so we can pretend he actually is there off screen. Another Karis thumbnail. This one, I'm just gonna like go just just straight out and say, like, I'm just gonna say straight out that this is one of my favorite thumbnails of his, even though the stream it was for didn't do particularly well numbers wise. The reason I like it is I honestly think that the background that he found was just nice, and it offers a really nice contrast where even though it is pretty gray, there is enough of a value difference that the center is like lighter than like the edges, so it provides some focus. There's enough of a contrast that it stands out from his model. And the black border around the text in his model help further with that contrast. Spacing could be slightly improved. Again, I think this, if we're looking at the rule of thirds, I think that I think text could have been pulled a bit this way. And then I think that would have fixed the issues with the that would have helped add some flow. I think hierarchy is fine. I think maybe like text maybe could have been a little bit bigger. Maybe Kara smaller, but it's not too bad on this one. Okay, he's getting better. This one was from October, from spooky season. So I don't know if he's getting better. I think I think he just once in a while he cooks. It's just like he has like flukes. Like once in a while, like he can like get his act together and he cooks, and then the other times he's just like just doing it the Karis way. Going back to the blueprints, Karis could have made his head brighter. I don't know what you're talking about. If you mean changing if you mean like putting a filter on his model instead of the background, I mean like theoretically you could do that, but like why? Because you generally don't want to edit your model unless you have a special reason. You want your model to be recognizable. It makes more sense to mess with the background and the other elements. They should pay you, Tia, to do their thumbnails. I don't have time for that. It is like teach. How's the saying go? Teach. Give a man a thumbnail, he'll like blah blah blah, or you could like teach a man to make thumbnails, and then that's like a lot more efficient. That's what I'm doing right now. So, the idea is like with this stream, I've given them the tools they need to succeed, and after that, like they're on their own. They're grown men. I'm not like I honestly, even if they offered to pay me to make their thumbnails, I don't think I would do that because it just one thing, I don't have that kind of time to do like menial labor like that. I think we should be mostly self-sufficient and responsible for our own things, the three of us. And also, I don't like taking money from friends. I don't like the idea of money changing hands between friends. So since they are my friends, I don't want to take their money. If I do have to do a favor for them, then I would just expect them to pay it back with another favor rather than with money. Yeah, we got whether this one. So remember earlier I was talking about how Karis was talking about how he used to be really opposed to the algo and now he's coming around to it. So this was the stream in which he was talking about that. It's basically a bucket list of things he wants to do before he graduates, because he wants to terminate his character, Karis Euphranor, before kicking the bucket IRL. He doesn't want Karis Euphranor to end as a project unexpectedly, which is different from me, because it's like the exact opposite from me. Like that's his artistic vision. But for me, I'm like, I'm gonna be Tia Faire forever until like I you know, like, you know, God calls my name, and then they will like and then you'll just hear on the news, oh, you know, Tia Faire, you know, after a lifetime of service to humanity, she went to the big YouTube channel in the sky. And that's how I envision the end of Tia Faire. You take my money all the time though. No, what? What, you take my money? Take your money to do what? Huh? Like buy groceries for us? You mean like that? Huh? Okay. Anyway, I had some graphic design to do. So, hierarchy. This one actually nails the hierarchy. The text is big. I would say big enough to take the bulk of the attention, and without it going to Karis's head. I think as a result of the text being the correct size, the flow is also good. I would say that this is the flow of the composition right here. Contrast is good. Gray model, but more or less black or very dark background and white text. So he nailed the contrast. And spacing is also good. There isn't much space on either side of the thumbnail. But this is it's not the most optimal, but it's okay. I would actually say that this may be the best thumbnail on Karis's channel, like right now, or at least of late. At least in terms, maybe not like subjectively, like maybe not on a subjective basis, like maybe there are other ones that are like, you know, funnier and more entertaining or creative, but this one is just the best in a technical sense, like best in terms of how well it conforms to the rules of graphic design. So yeah. And then this is another one of Axe's. I'm not sure what I wanted to say about this one. I think just in general, like I think that the placement, I think there was like flow here. Like it's kind of like this. There's some nice contrast between his model and the princess, which are comparatively pale in the black background, and just the decision to have his head overlap the logo, I think worked out really well. I think hierarchy is also good. He chose to have his model and the logo almost become one thing instead of two separate things, and the focus and the princess is a secondary focus. I guess the main thing to critique here would be, once again, spacing, which just seems to be Axe's main like, I don't know, Achilles heel. Because I think the princess is sort of sticking out maybe a little too far out to this side. So maybe if we just moved her a bit to this like maybe if she were moved a bit to the left and filled in like this area instead, I feel like that would look better, so that it's not as close to the edge. That's my critique of this one. Slay the press, yes, that's what it looks like. Another one of Axion's that I think was actually quite good. This one got more clicks than his other lecture streams at the time, reading streams, and I've gotta imagine that the reason is because of the eye-catching thumbnail. It's very dramatic. The combination of the fiery the big dramatic text, like red, like fiery dramatic background, and his facial expression. Yeah, it's definitely it's got a flair to it. Having his face in the middle was a bold choice. That kind of thing doesn't always work, but it can be a risky choice. I'd say it works in this case. Yeah, contrast is really good. Hierarchy, I think is I think good. I'd say the main focus is probably his face, and then you look at the the word hell behind him after that. Spacing is like fine, not as relevant here because he's already in the middle and there aren't too many elements on the page. I would say that maybe one change I would recommend that would sort of improve the flow is to maybe add 2 elements on each side in the lower corners, because right now they're being empty makes it like I mean, this is kind of subjective. I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary. Maybe he could have found like 2 small objects to put on either side of him, and that would have helped the thumbnail be less boring. But you could also make an argument that it's just more simpler and easy to read this way. So I don't know. I like this one. What are we talking about? Oh, who's talking? This guy, what he'll look like. This. Oh yeah. It's sorry. Yeah. It's just it communicates like clearly what the stream will be about, which is good. This is another thumbnail that Axe did from around the same period of time. For some reason, this one reminds me of Evangelion, and I haven't even watched Evangelion. But I feel like for some like I don't even know why that is. Why it reminds me of a show I haven't watched. But this one was one of his best performing VODs at the time. I think it was actually at the time it aired his second best. Ended up being his second most popular VOD after his debut stream. That's a good filter. Yeah, I'm not sure what filter he used, but he was experimenting a lot with OBS and different things during this time, and came up with this, and it got a lot of clicks. So, which once again proves that there's a correlation between good thumbnail design and clicks and numbers and success. Yeah, there's nothing really else to critique on this one. Like it's all very well balanced. Definitely contrast. Yeah, it's simple enough that like hierarchy doesn't really come into play. And then the spacing is very nice and even all around. There's a nice sense of balance. So I'd say it more or less checks the boxes. I mean, subjectively, I think I personally maybe prefer thumbnails like this one that are maybe more less minimalistic, but yeah, this was an effective thumbnail. And another one of mine. So this thumbnail, well, there shouldn't be much confusion as to which one this stream was for. I can say a bit about this. In the process of making this thumbnail, one thumbnail making related tip that I had heard was to if you know you're gonna make a video and you want to make a thumbnail for that video, you kind of want to research, look up other videos in that same niche or that genre on YouTube and see what their thumbnails look like popular videos that went viral that are sort of similar to yours, similar category and stuff, and then sort of make yours in the same style, and to piggyback off their thing. It will make yours more recognizable. It will help people look at your thumbnail and be like, oh, it's a video in this genre, in this category. It makes it more recognizable in this sense. So since this was going to be a debate stream, I actually looked up debates, just thumbnails of debates. I didn't need to watch the debates. I just looked at the thumbnails on YouTube and saw that a lot of them used this kind of format with the interlocutors' faces real big on each side, and some bold dramatic text somewhere, and then a line separating them in the middle, and just everything is just overall simplistic, but really bold and dramatic. It looks kind of adversarial, right? It looks like there's gonna be some kind of drama or conflict. And I tried to channel that 100% into this thumbnail. I did the separating line in the middle, the bold text, and I made my background like red and Axe as blue because those are contrasting colors. I love the red-blue type of, you know, contrast. I like that I get to do that every time I collab with Axe. I love it so much. And earlier I was talking about how you normally don't want to put filters on top of your models with, you know, maybe certain exceptions. And this was one of those exceptions. I thought that the thumbnail still did not look bold enough with our models being, you know, normal. So I did actually add a subtle filter on top of both our models. It's not like this kind of filter, but it's I think I added I upped the contrast a little with the brightness contrast correction layer in Clip Studio Paint. So we just kind of pop a bit more, and then I also added a glow around us. The rules such as flow and hierarchy can be a lot more tricky to navigate when you have two or more, like multiple VTubers on the thumbnail instead of you know, just when it's a solo thumbnail. So for this one, I mean, I think like spacing is pretty good. It makes effective use of space. It's not too cramped or, you know, too spaced far apart. There's definitely contrast, I would like to say. And then hierarchy is like the one that's not followed in a traditional way because there's an equal emphasis on both Axe and I, right? And I would say there's flow as well. There's a sense of balance on each side. Robo says classic banger thumbnail. Could we see it making a comeback for future debates, either with Axe or others? We'll see. No promises. Like, I'm glad you think it's good, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'd want to reuse it. I like to try to do new things and keep challenging myself. I can't tell a funny story about this thumbnail. So I think a while ago, I was like browsing YouTube. Maybe I was watching like Axe, maybe like, it was while I was watching Axe stream or something. And then I looked over into the sidebar. And I saw this one thumbnail that looked really good, and I was like, "Oh, that thumbnail looks so cool! I wonder like what kind of like stream or what the channel is." And then I looked more closely at it, and it was this one, and I was like, "Wait, that's mine! I made that!" I mistook my own thumbnail for being like a professional thumbnail, and I was like, "Oh yay! I feel so proud of myself." So that happened, and then this one is similar to the last one in a lot of ways. Again, it's a collab thumbnail, so hierarchy, like you know, it prioritizes two subjects equally, and text is once again in the middle. Like, I feel like it's kind of hard to find a place for the text when you have two VTuber models or more on the thumbnail. So I don't know, text in the middle is just sort of a go-to format for me. And then once again, the red versus blue dichotomy. And here's like some trivia about the thumbnail that I don't think anyone noticed. So if you recall, so this was for our Smash collab, of course. My Smash main, my ultimate main is Marth, and Axe's is DDD, and guess who is on, guess which characters are just right beside our shoulders. Did anyone notice that? And then Pyra and Mithra are also just in the middle. Like, that had like no significance for a collab. It's just like Pyra and Mithra. That was more just a neat coincidence. And both of these videos these streams did well as well. So once again, I feel like there's a correlation between. Oh, and then I think this is the last one for today. So once again, another collab thumbnail. And I don't know, there's something about collab thumbnails that are just really satisfying to make. I think it's just because you get to play around more with like different compositions and color schemes and stuff like that. My first time putting 3 people in one thumbnail, it was quite hard to get right at first, but I think I nailed it in the end. I like the way that it was hard to find space for the logo. It ended up having to go over top of like Axe's chest. I don't think it really could have gone anywhere else. Oh nice, that's cute Easter egg. Oh thank you. Yeah, I figured it out, I think in the end. A subtle detail I like about this one is that the backgrounds aren't completely plain. Like I first decided like, okay, I would sort of split the background into yellow into thirds, yellow and blue and red panels to represent each of our colors. And then it looked a little plain that way, so I actually added really subtle gradients to each one of them, and then added a cast shadow behind each of our heads. And I feel like the resulting like lighting scheme makes it look a bit like we're at sort of like some sort of like press conference, or like a red carpet photo shoot, and like the lights are flashing at us, like the paparazzi, like the I don't know, like the whatever, like they're taking pictures of us, and we're like the center of our attention, which wasn't really all that unfitting, right? Since it was for our Q&A collab, so you know, all eyes were on us, and we were answering people's questions, and stuff. So I don't know. I just really like that for some reason. And then we're through with the different examples for today. Something I noticed, like since my genmates, you know, sent me their zip files of their thumbnails and all, I got to like see their file naming schemes, and I gotta say, like, Karis, this is an example of how Karis named his thumbnails, and I looked at this and I was like, what? What is this supposed to mean? Like, what is this logic when naming these? Like, Higurashi scary, Higurashi terrifying, like Higurashi, just like regular Higurashi. Like he didn't name them like 1, 2, like episode 1, 2, 3 or anything like more intuitive. Like I look at this and like I don't understand what these are supposed to refer to. I mean, I do recognize that, I mean, these were originally intended like just for his eyes. It's not like he named these like in such a way that like he was preparing for like to send them to someone else and to let them work with it. So it was just for his purposes, so you know, he can name them like whatever. Like I get that, but still. And then this one's even funner. Did you rename this one on purpose because you knew I was going to look at it? Oh. The purpose of this stream, like my goal with this stream wasn't, it's not like I was going to like purposely single out your worst looking thumbnail and just like dunk on it just for the sake of being mean. Like you didn't have to worry about that. Like I feel like I mostly chose ones that were just in the middle. Like I highlighted some that were good, and then some that, you know, were maybe just in the middle, and like did some things right but could use improvement in other ways, because I feel like that's more edifying than just taking something that's like terrible and tearing it down. Like what do you really learn from that, right? So you didn't have to worry. You poor man. And that brings us don't know. I thought that was funny. But that brings us to the end of the slideshow. That's all the graphic design tutorial that I had. For planned for today. That took 2.5 hours, which is a lot longer than I thought it would be, but that's, I guess, normal for Tia Faire streams, so it is what it is. Should I write something here? In case anyone is coming in right now, they're wondering why the whiteboard is empty. So hopefully now, whether you're Axe or Karis or somebody else, you have a better idea of how to make top tier thumbnails for YouTube. Yep. Oh, hi Axe. You finally woke up at after 3 o'clock. Congratulations. I did indeed rename that one specifically for this stream. Did you do it? Were you worried that I would say mean things about your thumbnail, or did you do it because you thought it would amuse me? It didn't make me laugh. I was like, no, you don't have to worry. I wasn't gonna make fun of you. You've made you've made many other great thumbnails since, so I don't let that one define you. Really, I don't think you should worry. Before ending stream today, I maybe wanted to take the time to talk about a few other things, if that's okay with everyone. Just doing some after the main event. We'll just do some housekeeping before we wrap up. Especially since Axe is here, there is one thing I wanted to talk about. That'll do right now. Does anyone remember how at the start of this year, my first stream this year, I was talking about how I would I plan to do more pre-recorded videos this year, and have that be my main medium for doing philosophy rather than live streams, because I wasn't happy with my philosophy live streams so far. So I have an update, and it's not that positive. So I actually was working on a thumbnail, not a thumbnail. I have thumbnails on my brain since I've been talking about that all stream. On a video, on a pre-recorded video, last month in January, but it fell through. I worked really hard on it, but wasn't able to finish it, and I don't think that I'm going to finish it now because the subject of the video made it so that it was kind of time sensitive. I feel like I had only a certain window to finish it, but I couldn't finish it in time because I just didn't have enough energy to finish the recordings, the takes I needed to do for it, because I've been sick all month. And then I told myself if I was going to upload it, it had to be basically before the end of January, and now that it's February, I just it's still not done, and I don't think I'm gonna finish it. So yeah, there is a Tia video that I started making that never got done. So I tried making a video, it didn't work out, and I mentioned this now because Axe, the video actually concerns him in a certain way, and he has seen a rough cut of it. He's the only one who has seen sort of a rough cut of it. So I just thought I'd give an update and say that yeah, that I was trying to make good on my word, but it didn't work out, and if there's any good that came out of this, it is that I did learn a lot while making the video, even if I didn't get to finish it. So I did learn a lot about audio. It did sort of get me to improve, I think, my mic settings some more, and things like that, which I've applied back to my stream. And yeah. Should I talk about what the video is about? Because I feel like I'm just being awfully cagey, mentioning some mysterious video that will never be presented to the public. Should I just tell the story? I think it'll probably be okay. So, I don't think anyone here knows this. I mean, other than Axe himself, obviously, but like in December, Axe wrote an article about his take on the is lying to kids about Santa ethical debate that was sort of ongoing on Substack, which is sort of like a sort of congregation for a lot of modern philosophers. And he finished the article at like 8 o'clock, like almost 7 o'clock in the morning, because that's when he posted. He posted on Substack, and then that night, on the 23rd of December, he did a short like 1 hour-ish stream about it that I was there for. I think Tara might remember. I recall Tara being there. And then this part I didn't know about until much later. He also posted the article on Reddit on our Vlosophy, and the article like blew up. Like, I think it made it to like our all, like it made it to like the front page, and it got like over 800 upvotes and like 700 comments, which like sounds good until like I went out of town and stuff, so I didn't know this happened until I was like bored, I was like just kind of like waiting around like 20 minutes before an Axe stream one day, and I was bored, so I went on his Twitter, and I saw that he tweeted about his article blowing up, and at first I was like really happy for him. I was like, wow, that's like so cool, that's so exciting, and I was like so excited to check it out. And then like I went on like the Reddit thread, and it turns out like so many of the comments were like hate comments, and just people just saying like really negative things, or just sort of like making really bad takes. And I was so, honestly, I was actually, how do I say this? I was seething. I was so mad because some of the comments were so mean. Like, some of the comments attacked Axe personally, and I was so mad. Like, how dare you speak like this about my Oshi? I will not stand for it. And so one of the reasons I wanted to make this video was just to create like a PR fluff piece for my Oshi to defend him from Reddit bullies. Because I was like, I need to basically a bunch of people just assumed that because he was against Santa, that he was some sort of like bad person that wanted to make like children across America cry, which is, you know, for one thing, intellectually lazy to make that assumption. It's also just really mean-spirited. And I was like, in the video I wanted to be like, no, you're wrong. Like, Axe is like the nicest man ever. He's so generous that he sent a Christmas present to my house. I was gonna like show clips from our streams and everything. And but the video wasn't only gonna be that. It was going to be mainly centered around like what do you call it, like sort of disproving the pro Santa arguments that people raised on that thread, because a lot of people were basically saying, oh, but Santa's actually like good for kids because you like tell kids that he's real, and then they have like something to believe in for a few years before they become adults and succumb to like the cruel and harsh clutches of capitalism. And I'm like, that is like, that argument is full of holes, because for one thing, Santa like only like the Santa lie, the Santa lie is only really applicable if you're not poor, right? Like if you're middle class and your parents can afford presents for you, then it's fine. But if you're poor, it's not fine, because if you're poor, then the implication is like you're too naughty to get gifts, like from like regardless of what your actual like morality is, like regardless of how good of a kid you are, it leaves basically the children who are the most vulnerable out. Like it's hard to find an argument for how lying to kids about Santa would still make their childhoods better if they're poor. Like I find it to be sort of a very short-sighted and kind of you know, I don't know, it's kind of an insensitive argument, which is, you know, not really all that rare or surprising for the internet. But and then the other thing is that adulthood is like not inherently bad or unfun. Like capitalism is not an intrinsic characteristic of adulthood. Like if you don't like the status quo, you can do things to change it. Like you can vote and protest, you can spread awareness about issues, you can spread good ideas. I think that like lying to kids about Santa as a sort of like, I don't know, like consolation prize for like late stage capitalism is it strikes me as a kind of almost like Sartrean bad faith. It's defeatist. Like you're not getting to the root cause of the issue. You're basically running away from the problem, and you're I think it's like doing a disservice to kids. Like if your motivation for your argument is like, oh, you want to help kids, well, you know, why not do things that actually make the world a fairer place instead of lying to them about Santa, which is not really much of a solution at all. And well, this covers the video then. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I basically just told you what the video would have entailed. Santa hates poor people. He does. There's actually a song while doing research for this video, there's this song I never heard of until recently called Santa Hates Poor People by this band. I think they're called like Your Favorite Martians or something like that. That has like an animated music video and everything. It's pretty crass, but I never knew about it until now. But like, I mean, I think that just makes the issue. I don't know. It just makes it more sad, in my opinion, because that means that I'm not even the first person who came up with this idea. Like the song is dated from 2011, so like other people have thought of this, and yet people are still like not considering the perspectives of poor people, and I find that really sad. Yup, internet commenters get surprisingly riled up about Santa. They do, and I think... should I talk about this now? I think it's a form of like pearl-clutching behavior. Like, I think that Santa... The reason it strikes such a nerve with them is because people have a need. Human beings have the certain psychological need to feel morally superior to other people. But the thing is, actually, like being morally superior is difficult. It takes a lot of work, a lot of principles, a lot of sacrifice to do the right thing a lot of the time. And so, it's like I was saying in my chatting stream last week. Justice is hard, but it's important. And so I think a lot of people, what they do is they want the feeling of being morally superior over other people without needing to do the work of being just because that's a lot of work. So what they'll do instead is make up really arbitrary rules and standards that sort of falsely or illegitimately position them as morally superior, but don't really correspond with any just or moral outcomes in the real world. And I think a pretty good example of this is the Santa thing, because I felt like a lot of people were basically saying, well, look at me, I'm such a great person, I'm so much better than this Axion guy, because unlike him who wants to make American children cry, I look at me being such a good person by lying to kids about Santa and making them happy. And really, when you, upon further examination, like, that's not really an example of being a good person, right? But it gives them the feeling of being good, that really addicting feeling of being good, but without the effort required to be good. And honestly, in my opinion, I would say that this motivation is what drives a lot of really stubborn, like reactionary, like closed-minded takes in philosophical discussions. Another one being, you know, especially since you're here, Axe, monogamy. When you did your stream on monogamy, you had people coming in saying, you know, monogamy is better, like like class dismissed, and just, you know, with this almost this air of smugness and condescension attached to it. And I think that comes from the same place. It comes from the sort of instinct or impulse to be good, to label oneself as good through is this you know, false standard, without the without the effort that goes into being good. So in this case, it's just the assumption that monogamy is moral and then everything else is immoral, and further examination of the issue is unwelcome because it might reveal that, hey, actually being monogamous is not something that inherently makes you a good person. And they don't want that. Hence you get the lack of curiosity, the intellectual laziness, and all of that. I'm against picketing, but I don't know how to show it. That sounds like maybe a song lyric or a reference to something, but I don't recognize it. Can you tell me what the source is? Because I like the sound of that, so I'd like to know. Leon says, my parents didn't lie to me about Santa, but did lie to me about the ice cream truck. That was traumatic. Okay, and then Robo's confused, and Leon doesn't want to tell the whole story. Well, since you brought it up, I feel like I have to explain it now. So, Leon's parents told him the truth about Santa, and then one day, and like that didn't like ruin him. I think he turned out okay mostly, so like again that disproves the argument that like Santa is somehow like necessary to make kids like turn out happy and all of that. And then I think one day, like, he was like around Christmas, like he was hanging out with some like neighborhood kids and like let slip like, oh, Santa isn't real, and they cried. And like their parents got like so mad at his mom, like their mom got so mad at his mom. Axe, are you still here? I would like to know what your sort of what you think of the ethics of that sort of dynamic or interaction is. Well, I'm interested in what you'd have to say about that. Mitch, I can't read that. I can't read that from here. I need the YouTube chat box. Mitch Hedberg quote, I see. Mostly? Yeah, mostly. And then as for the ice cream truck, What was I gonna say? So, Leon's parents didn't lie to him about Santa, but they told him that the ice cream truck was actually the music truck, and it just played music, and that was its sole function. to deter them from like begging for ice cream. Tia, those were the same friends regarding the ice cream truck lie. That's really interesting. Okay, so basically what that means is that Leon knew the truth about Santa, but like broke it to his friends who are you know, not in the know. But and then he was like, that's freaking evil. It is clever. I'll give them that. And then Leon was lied to about the ice cream truck. And then those same friends told him, no, it's not the music truck, it's the ice cream truck. And then the lie was over. I don't know why I had to tell that story on stream. I feel like, meh. I feel like Axe left. He hasn't said anything in a while. Oh, wait, no, he's still here. I don't think the other mom should have gotten mad at Leon's mom for having told Leon the truth about Santa. Kids deserve to know and can still have fun with Santa as make-believe. That's what I think. I think that she was mad, basically because she had to deal with the fallout of her kid now crying and being upset. But I feel like that's kind of on her for lying in the first place. That might sound harsh. I don't know if there's an ethical principle to back that up, but that's my intuition at least. I wonder what lie was more harmful. Probably the lie about Santa. Because I feel like, it's like bad to teach. I feel like saying that the ice cream truck is the music truck is a much more shallow lie, so to speak. Whereas saying that the Santa is real. I mean, Santa is real and gives presents, expensive presents to kids who are good. I feel like that might encourage them to associate basically derive their motivation to behave morally from extrinsic sources, such as it's basically kind of grooming them to be a capitalist consumer. At least that there's a risk of that. I'm not saying that there's a total correlation. They would have gotten sad eventually, but I love ice cream. Which lie do you think was more harmful, as the one who was in the thick of it, Leon? By the way, Axe, did you have any thoughts on my theory about pearl-clutching behavior and how that motivates closed-mindedness in philosophical discussions because of the psychological need to be moral, but preferably for little effort, and with pearl-clutching being the shortcut that satisfies both of those needs? I know you don't necessarily I know you're the type to prefers to focus on the philosophy itself rather than going there then considering like the psychology and psychological aspect and all of that. But I do think that it is I think if we want our I've kind of realized that I have a habit of sometimes even when I'm supposed to be having philosophical discussions, sometimes I will sort of mix too much psychology and other things into it. And I mean, that's partly because I don't have formal training as a philosopher, but also because I just care so much about doing the right thing that I can't just leave it at principles if I feel like the principles don't adequately address the problems of the world that I'm concerned about. And so sometimes I feel like it is necessary to consider the psychological aspect in order to you know, that maybe like diagnose why it is that other people are resisting our rational arguments, and because their needs have to be addressed. Sometimes their needs have to be addressed in order for their minds to be changed, no matter how emotional or irrational those needs are. You know, they're people. They're not just repositories of ideas. But if you don't wanna, maybe you're typing up your comment, a talk comment right now. But if you don't want to, that's okay. I'm just curious. Yeah, but yeah, that's one thing I realized about myself, that I think I have a habit of not sort of sticking just to philosophy, even when I'm supposed to be having philosophical discussions. And it was something I realized only after Axe and I had the hate speech debate, and it was actually because of the hate speech debate that, as I feel like I regretted a lot of things that went, that sort of happened during the debate, and it sort of spurred me to try to think about why that was. And this was one of the things that I came up with. What else did I want to say? We've been up for 3 hours. There were some other small things I could say. Wait. Think of all that couch change that got wasted, Leon. It could have been spent on ice cream, but you just didn't know. Well, the ice cream affected me, so that one. What lie was more harmful? No, well, I think I see what you're trying to say, even though I don't agree with it. Axe says, yeah, it does seem plausible to me that for many people who reflexively or overconfidently or moralistically dismiss ideas they don't like, it's because of a need to feel superior. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking for a long time. And I, as Justice Incarnate, it's a personal pet peeve of mine, because I think that while, you know, it's important to be moral, it's, how do I say this? I think you might already know what I'm trying to say, but it strikes me as sort of unfair, or as a sense of cheating, when people believe they are moral when they are indeed not. And it also means that justice is less likely to be done if you believe you are moral when you're not, because that means that you won't be doing things that are actually moral, and that's quite unfortunate. Our job as philosopher VTubers is so tough. That actually reminds me of a thought I had last week, but I didn't quite get the chance to talk about it. For those of you who were here last time, you may remember that we ended up having an unplanned discussion about the male loneliness crisis. I was just planning to save that for the Vlosophy collab on it in March, and then because of I felt like sort of an obligation to address a certain extreme reactions that came up in chat, and so I ended up talking about it, even though I was pretty emotionally unprepared to do so, and it ended up taking like more than an hour. And then because of that, I forgot to talk about a couple of other things that I was planning to talk about. But one of those things was a further reflection on the success and the results of our Vlosophy promotional campaign on Reddit, which was that I mean, overall, I think it was a success, and we did well. It wasn't like all our posts bombed or something. I would say like half of them did well, and then half of them kind of bombed. And the ones that did well were the ones that sort of pertained the most to VTubing in some way, or to the demographic that was there that populated our VTubers. And then the ones that bombed were the ones that were more generally philosophical and didn't have any particular connections to our target audience. And I guess I don't necessarily regret that. I think it was probably worthwhile to test out different things so that we, could know for sure whether they would do well or do poorly. But after seeing that result, my thought was that I think we kind of have our work cut out for us as philosophical VTubers and educational VTubers, because it feels a lot like I'm not sure how to organize my thoughts right now, because it's been more than a week, but it feels to me very much like very few existing VTuber viewers, like existing VTuber fans, based on the reception that we got, would become interested in philosophy just because we were doing it. Because of which of our posts did well and which ones didn't. And if anything, it feels a lot more like the kinds of people who would be more likely to want to watch philosopher VTubers are actually like non-VTuber fans, like people who don't already watch VTubers. And I have some basis for saying this. One is the fact that looking at well, I think this is pretty much it, but looking at Karis and Axe and I and our viewers, the people who make up our viewer base, I think a lot of our regular viewers actually strike me as ones who aren't like super huge, like hardcore VTuber fans. For the most part, it feels like a number of our viewers are people who for whom like the only VTubers they watch are us, our Vlosophy, such as Teradito and Ari, and maybe others, though those are the two that I know of for sure and who come to mind right now. And maybe others who maybe only watch VTubers, a few VTubers, or watch VTubers casually, yeah. So I'm getting the sense that a lot of our viewers are the type who will watch like basically mainly us and not a lot of VTubers, as opposed to there being like a lot of overlap between, say, us, like our viewers, and like Hololive viewers, for example. And I feel like there's an explanation for that. I would say that it's probably because a lot of hardcore VTuber fans, like dedicated Hololive fans, they're the type who are drawn to VTubing as a form of escapism, so that they, it's just sort of like high octane entertainment, so that they don't have to think about their real world problems and stuff. Oh, Access, gotta go, but I enjoyed the parts of the stream I saw. We'll try to watch the rest later. In the meantime, thanks for the cool stream. Oh, thanks for staying, Axe. Have a nice day. Yeah, so the real world problems, which means that they're not going to be super huge fans of Vlosophy, because we talk about real world problems a lot more than what is expected of a VTuber, than like most other VTubers. I think because of that, we can naturally expect that our fan base will be somewhat mutually exclusive with the sort of standard issue VTuber fan base. And I think that when it comes to our viewers, even even the ones that sort of do watch a lot of VTubers, a lot of other VTubers such as Hannah, Zero, or Estella, if you notice something about those people I just mentioned, they're all women. And I think that's because maybe young women in general are more open to young men about sort of like being politically engaged, perhaps, or it's just that because VTubing is dominated by female creators and male fans, that most male VTuber fans will be again drawn to big creators like agency VTubers, whereas like and so that means like but all this all this is to say that I think that this informs sort of our marketing strategy going forward. Because I think advertising on our virtual VTubers was a good idea and worth a try, and it did attract a few new people to our channels as of late. But I think that yeah, most of the people there are just gonna be more in it for the escapism, and that means that I think that we can expect that most of our viewers will actually be people who don't already watch VTubers a lot and are drawn to our content because of the real world applicability and the gravitas of it all. And that would suggest that going forward, focusing our our promotional efforts too much on like VTuber heavy platforms like Reddit may not be such like a worthwhile endeavor. Like we won't be able to grab too much of that share of that market share, like other VTubers market share, and instead we should actually continue like going all in on the Vlosophy and sort of maybe like hoping that the algo will recommend us to people who want to hear anime people talk about serious issues, because I feel like that actually is a good descriptor for our existing viewer base. As thinking of some of the people who watch us and how they've described discovering us. I know there are a number of Axion viewers who discovered him through like random like lecture streams that he's done. So yeah, I don't know. That's just a reflection I've had. It's sad because I think I had higher hopes. I think I had higher hopes for attracting general like getting more like general VTuber fans to watch us, but I think it is what it is. I think that this is probably the reality, and we just need to adapt to it. Oh, and then Leon said maybe the concentrated mass of a Reddit group that likes showing risque VTuber art is more attuned there to respond to in-culture VTube stuff. Yeah, that's like similar to what I'm saying. Like it feels kind of frustrating and hypocritical to me, because every so often there you'll find people complaining about things like how like, oh, like the VTubing scene has gotten stale, like everyone is like doing the same thing, and yet they'll just follow like the same big VTubers over and over, and when like like people like Vlosophy come along doing something new, like where's the hype? Come on. But I don't mean to complain too much, because I still think our campaign was overall a big success. It just could have been more successful. And I wanted to say, I wanted to make two small notes about the Vlosophy collab. They're not too important, but just because I intended to say them last week and I didn't get to, and now it's just frustrating me. So I just want to say it for the sake of it. Do you remember how I performed Michizure by my Kamiyoshi Hoshimachi Suisei? That stream, that was actually, I would say, the hardest song to sing that I've performed on stream to date. It actually, I spent a lot of time rehearsing it in order to nail it, in part because I knew it was going to be part of a collab rather than a solo stream, and there were going to be a lot of eyes on me. So that was one performance I did not want to mess up. And also it was a hard song. I found myself needing to put like a lot more of my like diaphragm into it than I usually do. And that's really hard for me because I'm pretty frail. So it put more pressure on my body than I'm used to. I will say I didn't do as well on the performance as I was hoping to, but it could have been a lot worse. And I do think that I didn't get to rehearse as much as I wanted to either. I didn't have enough time. But I will say that the rehearsal that I did do made a difference. It would have sounded worse if I hadn't rehearsed. So there was that. And the other thing is there were some art assets, some visual assets I wanted to make for that stream that I once again did not have time to. I talked about one small thing. It was just OBS text during the stream already, but then another one was I thought about trying light stick assets to give to Karis and Axe that they could like that they could shake, or what not light sticks, they're called pen lights that they could shake while I sang. I thought it would have been like really just a small but cute touch, but I didn't have. It wasn't really important in the grand scheme of things, so in the end, I didn't have time to actualize that vision. But maybe another time I will. Well, maybe we'll have another chance to do that. But in any case, Robo says, I thought you sounded fantastic. Thank you. Well, I do have very high standards for myself. I mean, I won't say that it sounded bad, just that I could have rehearsed more, and it was a hard song, and it could have sounded better. But it would have sounded worse if I hadn't rehearsed, so I am proud of myself for like not completely bombing it. What if I tried singing it again right now? Even though I've been talking for 3 hours, so it's not like my voice is any better. It's really any better today than it was that time. But I could do that. Sometimes I just feel like singing. You know, singing's fun. Sometimes I feel like I never feel like myself as much as when I'm singing. That sounds strange. Like the only time I really feel like myself is when I'm singing. Sometimes I feel that way. So once again, we're gonna do the routine. Okay, Butterfly, you're up. Butterfly, please bring the mic over here. Oh wait, no. Wait, what? It's not working. Oh, I messed that up a little, but oh wait. Butterfly. Around. Wait. I think here. Maybe here is good. Okay, you're excused. Thank you very much for your help. And this should go behind the table probably, or it looks funny. Maybe I will try singing and see how it goes. I'll make this a bit higher, I think. Okay. That's good. No sing Shania Twain for Axe. Wait, are you telling me no, don't do this so that I can sing Shania Twain for acts later. They're not mutually exclusive, you know. I don't think acts is streaming today anyway. I'm gonna use a different instrumental now than I did last time. Let me know if the volume is okay once again. I think it probably should be fine, but just in case. Just give me a minute to look for it. I think, where is it? No, it's not that one. Oh, here it is. Better turn off my background music and turn on my desktop audio.人の弱いついつまでも一撃探しばかり遊び飽きたら終わりよ海が出るか流れるかと怯えて過ごすばかりすめすめと一人泣くこんな旅路を行くことが人の条理どれもいいの不気味をやつつるうまくいかずに今夜もまた長くだけどきっとこれはポレロさ足を引きずろうともこのにじむ痛みと引き換えに有り余る喜びに出会えるのこれは愉快なポレロさ私が生きた証ばらまくからお気に召したなら共に行こう道空にしてあげるわまやかしがばかしか知らない噂の一つや二つ目をつぶってあげるでも譲れない大事な想いは歪むことなくちゃんと伝えたいの私はここだよここで生きてるんだよあなたと同じ心臓で刻むこの絵に乗せて進むパレードどんな景色を見に行こうこんな私のことを信じてくれるならどこまでも行けるもう一人で泣いたりしたいわ30代譲る私とあなたの旅が終わり迎えた日には抱え詰めてきた荷物から放り投げて笑い合おうそんな旅路を共に行こうありがとうございます。I don't think that was any better. I don't think that was an upgrade from the first time I performed it. I think that was probably a side grade. Maybe one day I'll sing it at the beginning of a stream rather than after I've been talking for 3 hours and see what kind of difference that makes. Oh, Penbu, you're still here. Or I don't know if you, or maybe you left in the middle and came back at just the right time. And in the future, I'll definitely sing others Suisei songs as well. Because I've been sick for so long, I haven't been able to do a lot of song rehearsals. But I would like to hold more karaoke streams in the future. Starting stream song could be helpful. Yeah, I've been here the whole time. Oh, okay. I was actually thinking since this is the right season, I was actually thinking of doing a Valentine's themed karaoke soon, but it all just really depends on my health issues, because I haven't really been able to rehearse lately with not feeling well enough. So yeah, schedule is very much up in the air. I was originally hoping to do it this weekend, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, I don't think I'll feel well enough this Saturday. So maybe I could do it on Valentine's Day, but that's still not a given. But yeah, that is sort of one idea that I had. Sing all the songs to me. I mean, if you're there watching the stream, then I will sing them to you, just not exclusively you. And you ought to be fine with that, right? Alright, anyway, I've been talking for a while. I'm pretty tired. I wanna eat. I wanna get some rest and I wanna eat. And then tomorrow I'm not streaming, but on Friday, if all goes well, I will actually be playing Slay the Princess for the first time. It's and it's funny because I actually I just showed Axe's thumbnail of Slay the Princess this stream. So Karis has played the game as well. So now it's my turn. At this rate, it's looking kind of like a rite of passage for Philosopher VTubers playing Slay the Princess. So I've watched Axe's playthrough of it, so I won't be going into the game completely blind. Yeah, I know there were a few people, especially on Karis's community, looking forward to that one. So, yeah, that'll be on Friday if with any luck. So, yeah, I hope you'll look forward to that and see you there. And, yeah, I don't think I have any other, the big news that I need to. Yeah, I won't miss Tia being on a path in the woods. Yeah, your favorite line, because your internet is back now. So yay, we're all happy. Great job, beautiful singing as always. Oh, thank you. All right. I never turned on my background music, but that's okay. It's the stream. Okay. This was Tia Faire channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye.